Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of iDip. I am Youssef, joined as always by my good man Jonno.
Hello.
And tonight we got as a guest none other than Mr. BKB himself, Stephane. How are you, my man?
I'm good.
For those that don't know who Stephane is, he is the operator of a absolutely beautiful gym in the middle of Sydney, Maryland.
We're in here right now.
We are here at the moment.
In case you didn't know.
Battle Cat Bunker. It is a FGC dedicated hub. Why don't you tell us a bit more about it, and how did you come up with it? Why did you want to do it? What do you offer?
Give us the cliff notes because we'll get into the full spiel later on. But give us the cliff notes about this place.
Why BKB and why now?
All right. Well, basically, I was thinking of I'd been living in China for about 3 years, and I'd just come back to the country around last year. And last year, was it like around September last year? Something like that, yeah. And basically...
Shit, right as I left.
Yeah, basically I...
Just before.
I decided to I had some money saved up, basically. And I decided to try to open up a place that I thought was... with OHN being so big, we had like mad time, and there was... I got guys from Korea and America to come. But anyway, basically I saw the interest in all the rising interest in all the fighting games, and we have always had like a strong arcade culture from when
Especially
I started.
for Tekken.
Yeah, especially for Tekken, which is the game I personally come from. But I've always been in contact with all the other FGC because of friends being friends with others. Jumping from Street Fighter to anime to all people. This now much more so since I opened up. But anyway. I opened up this place. I decided to open up in the west to give people that were a bit far away from the city where the usual events are to have a place that they could relatively get to without having to spend 2 hours on a night bus. Cool. And yeah, it formed into this place where it's supposed to be here to be for casuals in between the bigger events. As we get more and more monthlies, more and more bigger events, there's so much more interest. The numbers are rising. And this place is there to catch and welcome people to start.
Sydney is growing in a way that like 3-4 years ago we would never have. I mean, all the states, but specifically Sydney because it's where we're all based. And I feel like BKB is the glue that like holds all of these events together.
Yeah, that's definitely what we're targeting for, and hoping that like more places, and there have been already more places that there's already a place in Newcastle. There's a place in Tasmania that opened up around the same time as us. Which we'll talk about.
Definitely give him a shout.
Yeah. Come get right up on that microphone before we get started. I want to hear about what you've been playing this week. Youssef streamed. You streamed some Soul Calibur. For if you guys are watching the archive, twitch.tv/Gamera. We do it. We're trying to get affiliate and all that good stuff, so we are doing a bit more streaming. So how did that go?
Actually went pretty good. I was losing a lot at the beginning, and then kind of got the hang of it. And it was pretty fun. Like average about 8 viewers according to the stats you gave me later. Average about 8 viewers, and I picked about 15. So whatever, it's like the second time I stream ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't really stream. But it was interesting, it was fun. Everyone in the chat was really helpful, especially Risen, giving me some really good tips on how to play. It was fun. I streamed for about 2.5 hours.
For a first session, you went pretty long.
It was pretty good, after I got over my initial salt, and online in general, just everything about online is like, not a big fan of. But it was fun. Unfortunately, I won't be able to stream this week.
I'm gonna stream this week, so
just
I got
because I'm busy Thursday and I'm flying on Friday to Perth for their major, and I won't be back till Tuesday. So
sick.
Yeah, but I'll definitely try to stream sometime next week for sure.
Oh, look, I think VF isn't coming in this week, so I'm gonna be in on Thursday doing Manat stuff. So if you want to see Manat stuff, come on Thursday. I got one whole combo.
Nice.
So
nice.
She's like, I don't know, like the more I play her,
she's good, yeah.
She's good. I don't know if she's for me. And like this isn't me like dropping combos and being like, yeah, nah, look, I don't know. This is like me hitting it and like seeing the game plan and going. Like I'm gonna stick it out because it's November. We got 6 more weeks until next season. Like I'm sort of mucking around between Menard and Sagat, obviously, and I think Blanca is going to be the next like Abigail next year.
You reckon?
Like he's already really good. It's just no one is maining him.
He's boring.
He's not. He's actually not boring in 5. Like I didn't like Blanca as an archetype, but the command grab and like just the way his pressure works in general,
Actually,
I think is really interesting.
His command grab is pretty interesting.
This is my favorite iteration of Blanca so far, but it's like So I'm gonna be streaming Menard stuff, but I think most people are sort of like gearing up for season 4 and like hedging, which is smart.
Hopefully Sagat gets buffed, man.
Look, even if they buff him, I don't see him being like he will always be present in the meta. But if you are just gonna play Sagat, you're gonna struggle. Like Guile deletes him. Like he's got problems, but like I think he's fun. I wouldn't actually change him all that much, but I'm just basically hedging. Like, I like Chan, but she's got a couple bad matchups, so I'm just mucking around. And I think most people are. Like I heard some people. We'll talk about the Red Bull Kumite in a bit, but like NuckleDo pulled out G as a counter pick to Menard.
I saw.
So the game is moving in a direction that I like because I like counter picking as a meta because I think it just makes it more interesting.
Because you're in an ST player.
I'm an ST player. That's why. I'm an ST player. We like counter picking, but it does create these interesting storylines of like character loyalty versus like the emphasis on the first game.
So I'm getting that W.
And it's just I think I might have jacked this too loud. Anyway, I think it's interesting. So I'm going to be streaming some SF stuff because that's where I'm at.
That's cool.
What else? What do you play, actually? I'm going to pull up some Bankstown results.
I mainly play Tekken, which actually, talking about matchups, that's something that now for a lot of people talk about in Tekken. People used to always say, like, there's no matchups in Tekken, no matchups. But now it's like...
There is still technically no, like, true matchups where, like, this character counters this character. There is just... this character struggles.
Yeah, this tech against this particular character.
It's like,
that becomes like kind
technical.
I would say that becomes that's definitely a matchup issue.
It is a matchup, but it's not like I'm gonna pick this character solely. Like for example, I take one of the greatest sets of Tekken we've seen in almost forever was for anyone who watched the tournament in UAE, I believe it was, but and when Ni was there. And that set him versus Aslan Ash, and now Aslan plays Kazumi. And the reason I don't know if many people picked up on that, like Ni picked Claudio against Kazumi. Now Claudio is not a great character. He's an excellent character on low and mid tier level, but at top tier level, he's honestly not that good of a character. And at first I didn't know why. Like I didn't understand why the pick of Claudio. Like of course Ni has his reasons. He is arguably the GOAT of Tekken, you know. And then I was
Lily in the final, yeah.
Sorry?
He picked Lily in that final.
Yeah. And then just like sidestep left forever. And then I was talking to Dion that same night, and I was like, I don't know why he picked Claudia. Like I think I might have an idea or two, but I don't know why. And then Dion just goes to me, down back 3. I go, what do you mean down back 3? He's like, down back 3. Kazumi can't launch it. And then I'm like, oh. He's like, yeah. And he's like, he wants to go under her jab. She's got good jabs. Down back 3. I'm like, so you reckon that's why he picked Claudia? I was like, yeah, down back 3. Like stuff like that. Like it's not matchup dependent. It's just like there's one thing that you can kind of not abuse, but just kind of get away with in a way, and then that totally changes the matchup. Not like Claudia's gonna win 3 or even 7-3 or even 8-2. No. It's just like it skews the the what's it called, the scales slightly in another character's favor. So that's why the matchup.
You just need to be a double.
It's just so funny, like Tekken players describing exactly what a matchup is.
Okay,
but I understand because
but it's
Tekken
not as bad.
That's
Tekken's
exactly what I mean.
characters are
There
much
is nothing
broader.
like a 7-3 or an 8-2
No.
in Tekken.
Because
but it's
like,
definitely popped up more.
Yeah, now
compared
it's
to what it
like,
used to be. It used to
compared
be like
to before.
there's no
Now
matchup.
a 6-4 is like, oh my god, the 6-4 is so big into like that's probably as worse as it gets, like a 6-4.
because each character in Tekken has 100 moves. Street Fighter,
Yes.
you have 100 wake up jabs. Like,
Yeah.
there's a big difference.
Yeah.
But that's it's interesting because like I remember talking to certain Tekken players, and this is a quote that I'll never let die. Is like Tekken has no matchups.
Actually, that's true and wrong at the same time. Like up until
It's
maybe
wrong.
like
It's wrong, but okay.
It's
now
because
we're
there are
seeing
no
it-
hard
yeah.
matchups.
Yes.
Some people.
Yeah, it's not an absolute state. It shouldn't be taken as an absolute state.
Matchups don't carry the same weight that they do in other games.
Yeah.
But if Tekken was a one fighter game on one stage, there would still be matchups because
Yeah.
player 1 versus player 2 movement.
Yeah, yeah.
So there are matchups in Tekken. They just
Yeah.
carry different weight.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you can take it out even out of the game. Like any game, there's matchups for real life between
Yes,
players.
of
Just the
course.
mentality of like whether you think you can beat someone or not.
And
can be a
also
big
the
thing.
way you break down matchup is different. If you take it across Street Fighter and you take it across Tekken, like in Street Fighter, it's very like character dependent. You know what I mean? Whereas in Tekken, it's not just character dependent. Like it goes beyond, like you said, movement as well.
Yeah.
Like that's why like they flip for P1 a lot of times. So that's why. So yeah.
3D games, characters are a lot more of a canvas, whereas like 2D, you're playing for perfection a lot more of the time.
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
Yeah, much more
I agree
like
with that statement.
pointed characters that have like a direction to
Like
go to for
a
the 2D
trajectory
games. Yeah.
that, you know, how
yeah.
high can you take it? It's
Yeah.
essentially into the interesting.
Yeah. So, shall
Fighting
we-
games.
We've got
They're great.
We've got a crap ton of results to get through. So we
Yeah, let's
start-
get some
start getting
some
through.
results.
I apologize, I didn't grab everything. So if anyone in the chat is watching and we missed something, just let me know. But we're going to start off with
This is how good I am at doing things. I literally just walked in to Jonno and Stephane having everything set up, and I sat down, and Jonno's like, "All right, we're going live." I'm the worst. I am the literal worst.
We'll start off with some results from Bankstown Runbacks. So I'll quickly run through everything and then we'll talk about the event overall real quick. So I'll just do the winners because, you know. Soul Calibur was won by Runus. Dragon Ball Fighters was won by Amali Kada. Tekken was won by Box. Yeah, there you
She
go.
won.
She won.
Yo, good shit, bro. She came all the way from fucking Newcastle. Her and like 6 other people. Yo, man, I want to go to Newcastle. I've been to
Yeah,
Newcastle.
we need to go there.
Yeah.
It's just
I've
I've been
talking
busy.
to the
I really want to go.
Actually, well, that's a perfect opportunity to bring it up.
Let's get through the result.
get
We'll get
through
through
the
the results.
results.
It's the next thing I got on the
Shit,
menu.
I beat her in Soul Calibur though, so she can hold that L.
Tekken was won by Box. Cross Tag was run by Live. Shout out to those guys. Like Cross Tag's actually pretty healthy in Sydney.
Before we move on, who was third in Tekken?
Oh yeah, Youssef was third in Tekken.
And 4th in Soul Calibur.
All right, so do you want me to? I'll do the top.
Can you
three.
also say I was 4th in Soul
Okay.
Calibur?
well, it's
No,
not-
that's
We're
what
gonna
we
go off
need.
the
Tell
shit.
them so they know.
Okay, let me.
So
I'm
they
gonna
know.
just, let's go through it. Ready? Soul Calibur, third Risen, second Stepping Up Matey,
no.
first Runus, Dragon Ball Fighters, third Runus, second ASF Jeese, who's the melee player, right? He's a Smash guy.
Yeah, he's also an anime
now
guy.
Plays
Good, he's seen the
Dragon
light.
Ball, yeah.
And then Amali Kara won Dragon Ball Fighters. Second Seven, third Fade, second BKB Zep. And
Oh
Box.
yeah,
Why
Zan
is
put BKB on his thing when we did Wei Chen.
We did BAM.
Oh, for
Bam.
Bam, yeah.
Oh, bless.
Right,
Promote
because
your
it was
place.
slash GG, yeah.
Cross Tag third, Ruse Control second,
won the
ASF
shirts.
G's first Life. Under Night in Birth was third place. What is that?
Cheetah
Cheetah B. Second place Hugo. First place Kyokugen. Guilty X third. Rev 2. Third Seraph. Second Ramen DPS KQ. Which idiot? That's not their name. That's what their name was this week.
KQ is their name.
Okay.
I know
KQ. And first was Risky Crazy Diamond. Central Fiction. Third place Runa. Second place Fiery. First place Life. Skullgirls. They're still going strong. Good. Go Skullgirls. Third place Caduceon. Second place Ram Snacks. First place Risky. Virtua Fighter 5. Final Showdown. Third place Made Man. Second place Shill. First place Mike. Super Turbo in the 4-man tournament. I won it over Hugo, and third place was Made Man.
Also do Made Man.
Also do Made Man. Ultra Street Fighter 4, Kraft Heinz Baked Beans in third, second place Nia, first place After Death. And last on this spreadsheet, which I am positively offended by, Street Fighter 5, third place AJ. That was actually his first offline tournament, so shout out to AJ.
Is that
second place After Death, and I won it.
I won it.
Yeah.
I like how you ended it.
Well, I mean, everybody who plays the game was a Gfinity.
Is
So
AJ the guy that had the
he had the
earrings?
earbuds. He
Yeah.
he walked in. He's like, "What up? I play Street Fighter 4." I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." He's like, "I play Street Fighter 5 too." I'm like, "I take a seat. Let's play."
Oh,
He
by
was
the
pretty
way,
good.
I want to mention for the Tekken tournament that Nia, who placed second in the Ultra Street Fighter 4
Yeah.
tournament,
Hmm.
he did
knocked out a
fucking,
lot of people.
Yeah, he did fucking awesome.
I was
in
like,
the
what the
tournament.
hell is happening?
Who does he use?
King.
King is
Why do
like,
you say it like that, King?
because like King doesn't have anything cheap.
King's
Really?
it's like when the margin beat JDCR is big because it's not just
Like-
he's very good, but it's also his character.
King is not that good. Like I don't think
like,
King is good.
you
Like
know,
you just like
considered the best hero.
you have to play him really, 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 really safe. Like you know he doesn't have any abusable shit.
Yeah,
Good
like
shit,
his
yeah.
setups are very, all in.
So yeah, good shit.
Yeah.
Russell.
And that was a really good event overall. Like Bankstown's a really nice venue. Good food, cheap parking, not in the city.
very
Free
nice
parking.
Free parking,
Close
that's right.
to the train station. A lot of pho places if you want to eat pho. Yeah, and even the
they
RSL
have
club
much.
itself has a lot of
Yeah.
good food.
A lot of food.
When's the next one? Because it was on a Sunday, but it's going back to Saturdays, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
It was only a one-off event on Sunday. Look, we haven't finalized everything, but for anyone that want to clear their schedule, clear it on December 8th. That's when next BRB will come in your way, December 8th. We haven't booked yet. I'm just being extra honest with you, but that is the date. We've already spoken to them and everything. If you guys are super keen to come out and support, it is not a Sunday, it is a Saturday. So yeah, do come out and support Sydney locals so we can continue supporting your bum asses.
No YSB next month, so you've got to go somewhere, right?
Yeah, no ISB in December. We will return in January and February.
Great.
Dope. So I'm just giving you guys, the what's happening ahead, so you guys know.
All right, I dropped everyone who's
Yeah.
watching live about the bitrate. I dropped it, so it should be easier to watch. But we'll move on to this is something that you wanted us to bring up in regards to some other venues that are going down. So why don't you talk us through? Should we start with
just
Newcastle or Tassie?
let's start with Newcastle
Alright, we'll
because
start
they're
with
local, and
Newcastle.
then we'll expand because also it's sooner that they'll have an event compared to. I was going to talk about Tasmania afterwards, but first,
I'm going to Tasmania.
Yeah, in Newcastle, Gomez vs Pedro is this place in a lot of Newcastle boys have been coming down for like BRB, for YSB, like you were just mentioning, all the way down for Dragon Ball Fighter Z and everything. They've got a pretty big like Smash scene.
Contingency in Newcastle.
Yeah, but they're trying to grow their FGC, and I've been talking to them, to the owner, of talking about like doing like joint events, with us, so we can try to encourage some Sydney people to come up to Newcastle, and see the place and really because that'll
Have you been?
garner interest. No, and I
I've
want to. That's
actually
what I was
been,
talking about.
and it's actually fucking sweet, man. Like
Yeah.
it's a lot of space. The couches are hella comfortable. A lot of setups. There's a cafe like inside the place run by Josh's dad, I think, and make really good food. So it's a really really nice place to be. Really nice place.
And you have to, and they've been around like for quite a few years now. I think 4 or 5.
I don't think that long.
No.
I don't think that maybe 2 years from memory.
Two or
that's-
three at least.
So they're basically like
Yeah.
they're like in history they'll be like the originators of this sort of thing to open up these places where fighting games can come together specifically and play offline. Because that's one aspect I've noticed. That's one of the reasons why I opened this place. One aspect I've noticed about fighting game communities is that we need the offline
People
elements.
are hypocrites. Is that what you noticed? Hey, there's nowhere for me to play. Well, when you come play, nah, I don't want that. Yes, I hate the FGC.
I'm not gonna come if nobody's there.
Yeah.
That's
What?
my
What's
favorite
that?
one.
Who's
It's like,
coming?
yeah, if you're not there, then nobody's there.
Babies.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Come and
That's-
support you bitches.
That's something that I haven't
Jeez.
been around enough to be
It's
bitter
been
about
20
yet.
minutes and we're already bitter. That's
Yeah.
all right.
Hi, I'm Youssef. I'm old and jaded in case you haven't noticed yet.
But you should go to, what is it? Gomez and Pedro. I've been
Yeah,
covering
go
those
on.
guys. Man, back when I was like doing the Osodo stuff on the front page, they've been going for a while. So if you're watching live, we got the details on the screen. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it's
make a note.
Gomez versus Pedro. Yeah, VS. Well, you can see it. Anyway.
Yeah,
Can
and
I
I'll
just
put
say,
the show notes for
the
those
one time I
watching
went
later.
to GVP in Newcastle, I actually won the second tournament, so I'm a GVP champion. Just throwing it out.
Bruh, I'm a two-time Bankstown champion, yeah? Like, I can say that now.
Hey man, I'm a Tasmanian regional tournament champ from 3 years ago.
This is a mess.
Accolades, I just...
Actually, a foral in Tasmania knocked me out of the Tekken tournament I went to. I went to Tasmania for my birthday to visit a friend that lives there, as well as check out this place. I thought it was a good opportunity. And seeing Sammy open up that place is really cool.
Let's talk about Cooldown.
Huh?
Let's talk about Cooldown.
Yeah, Cool Down Esports Lounge in Tasmania, who are in the forefront of creating. They basically opened up at the same time as us, and had the same idea, and it's pretty amazing to see the response as well, because they're getting Tekken tournament. When I was there, they had 25,
Yeah, man.
27 people or something in the tournament. They had proper. This is a proper place, and he makes delicious toasties.
Ooh.
Shout out to the toasties.
And
It's great.
as you can tell, he's definitely someone for community because he traveled to OHN.
Yes,
And-
he travels to all the big things.
Yeah,
I've seen
he
him.
definitely
Yeah.
comes out and support. So Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he's been around forever. I think they're holding Tasmania Con 4.
TFC.
Tassie Fighter
Yeah.
Con 4.
Tassie Con
Happening
Fighter Con
March
4.
15, 2019 to March 17, 2019
Yep.
at Area 52. No?
Yes, at Area
Yeah,
52.
at Area
yeah,
52,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's going to be pretty dope. It seems like there's going to be a somewhat strong interstate presence this time around.
Well, I'm going, so of course it's gonna be strong.
I'll be
Dennis
monstering
said he
from
would
Japan.
come. I'm definitely going. Definitely.
If you're interested,
already
I'll throw
booked.
that up in the show notes as usual. So
Mm.
come out, support if you can.
Yeah, encourage because it should be really good. The venue at Area 52 I've already been to before. So I went there to Tasmania about 3 years ago, or maybe 2 years ago, visiting, and we had a tournament, and I managed to, with my Dragonov, managed to like get to top and managed to win the tournament. But this time around, the level was very different.
Great.
And I think I managed to like make it for the first 2 or 3 rounds through winners, and then I got knocked into losers by 4. And unfortunately, I left after that and got DQ'd for the loser side because I wanted to go to the casino before it was too late. But I was only there for like a few days, and I was.
We'll get to that young man very shortly. But just for those, someone asked in the chat if they got an SF5 scene. The current lineup, the trophy games, which are their top tier games: Tekken 7, Soul Calibur 6, Smash Ultimate, Melee, Dragon Ball Fighters, Cross Tag Battle. They're metal games. In fact, this is the old OHN. This is the way we did it. So I guess this is their second tier of games. SF5, Guilty Gear, Unzonite In Birth, Smash Doubles Ultimate, Smash Melee Doubles, Blaze Blue for Central Fiction, Injustice, Marvel Infinite. These are the DIY tournaments: Injustice, Marvel Infinite, Smash 64, Third Strike, Persona, Dengeki, and Melty Blood. Will be a DIY tournament.
Melty Blood, nice.
Yeah, that game's never gonna die.
Dengeki, I don't even know that one.
That's one of the anime games. I think it's made by the Melty Blood people, but
okay.
it's got some interesting stuff in it. I'll throw that up in the show notes for you guys to watch later. But we'll get into some other news because there's a crap ton of it.
They've got apparently they've got a pretty strong anime scene as well.
What, Tassie?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Well,
they got
Fiery
some
in the
strong-
chat says
Yeah.
their best player is DBZ, so it's good. It's
The
good that
best-
game's alive. Their best player plays DBZ.
That's cool.
So I guess keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on it and keep you guys posted. Let's plow through some news because there's a lot. Just a quick one.
Just before, I'm seeing in the chat. Just making sure, like, I talk about join the Also Do.
The Osodo Discord, of course.
Make sure
if you're
we
in the
get
chat, it's in there now. Otherwise, I'll throw it in the show notes. That's where we fight. If you want to know about BKB and
if you're in Sydney,
offline
it's
stuff.
a must. If you've got Discord and you're in Sydney, you have to have that chat.
Yeah.
Be in that chat.
Also, one thing I
It's
want to
just
say,
too useful.
beyond the people that are in the chat, because I reckon majority, if not all, the people in the chat kind of know about BKB, support BKB in one way or another, are probably in the Discord. Tell people, like, spread the word. You know, if you see someone interested, like, tell them to come.
It's a very friendly place.
Yeah, let them know about BKB. Like, it's a great starting point. Very friendly. Very, like, you know, great location.
Some people find like a
lot of
bigger
people-
events like more intimidating.
Yeah,
like YSB.
it's
might be a
really
bit big.
casual, really
Yeah.
chill. You
It's
can,
a really good place to be
some
introduced.
snacks, some drinks. You know, like, it's having a good time.
You might see us, and we'll be there.
like, you know,
And there's other games, like you don't have
Any
to
game.
always be playing. You know, you can relax a bit. There's other little party games and stuff
there's
like that.
computers,
There's computers
at the back.
back.
There's a Switch or Wii U. What do you got?
We got Wii's and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm getting Switches very soon because of
Ooh.
Smash Ultimate.
Yeah, like,
And that mean that
Like-
Mario Party will be there on Switch.
Yeah.
I've already got it on Nintendo 64 and stuff like that.
nice.
But,
Like,
yeah.
put out the word. You know,
It's a great-
Spread
You
the
can
such a
word.
really,
good place
yeah.
to hang, man.
There's really good food around here as well.
There's really a great Afghan food, great Thai food. Seriously, a lot of kebab
Yeah,
joints.
tell anyone that's
We got
interested in playing
roasters.
games, tell
Then,
them.
like, you know, if anyone wants El Jonno's like less than 10 minutes away drive, like, come through, man. Come through.
Yeah.
Spread the word.
If you're watching live, check the Fiery posted up the Discord link. Otherwise, I'll put it in the show notes. All right, let's blast through this news. If you want to feel old, BlazBlue's 10 years old.
Oh,
I guess
I mean, where were you 10 years ago? I know where I was.
Australia.
10 years ago, it's 2008. I was in high school. There you go. Happy birthday, BlazBlue.
Oh, you want to know where I was 10 years ago?
Lebanon.
Nope, Japan. Representing
Oh,
Australia
okay.
at SBO.
Yeah, that one.
That's where I was, son. That's where I was.
So what is it? Yeah, literally today, November
got
20th,
old in
10
here.
years ago, is when BlazBlue Calamity Trigger, that hot mess of a game, came to arcades. So happy birthday, BlazBlue. Maury's teasing a new title, but let's not give him any more attention and move on.
Cool.
So there are Black Friday sales. This news comes courtesy of Event Hubs, by the way. I didn't validate if this is on the Australian PSN store, but you can check it out anyway. Black Friday sales, MKXL, Injustice 2, and Dragon Ball FighterZ appear to be on sale.
I think it is.
I think there are other games on sale too, so check it out. You might be able to pick up a game, a hot deal. So give it a look. Thank you, Event Hubs, for the tip-off. And speaking of Soul Calibur, this news comes courtesy of Shoryuken. Soul Frames, which is a frame data app,
Still
has
very beta,
launched on Google Play. It is in beta, but you know it's always handy to have like that app on a phone to get your frame data. So check out SRK or just look up Soul Frames on the Google Play Store. Let me see if there's any news about iOS. Nothing about iOS yet, but it's in the works. Okay, sorry, it's in the works.
Only Phone Master Race.
Yeah, so if you want to play Soul Calibur, do that. Speaking of Soul Calibur, 1.02 is out this week. I think is it already out? Has it dropped? Okay, and that fixes the bug glitch, the meter glitch with Voldo and Tira, as well as the unblockable tech traps and all that stuff. So like they're paying attention. Yeah. Nothing about the ranked jankery yet. Well,
they said like if you have any more penis lizard men, you might get banned. Okay, but that's about it.
Does this specifically address the penis lizard man?
Penis lizard man.
Well, the glitches have been sorted. Maybe the penis lizard man will come next.
In due time.
Yeah, in due time. So I guess if you want to talk about that, be nice. I guess they're taking feedback on Twitter. Just don't be a dick.
I mean, Soul Calibur is made by, Goat Company, so of course they're going to do it right.
Yeah. They're literally asking you, please don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Which always works out, but, That's good. I'm glad that game is getting to love it.
Can I also quickly interject, because I just saw in the chat, Clara's mentioned that there's Mafia at... BKB.
Alright.
And this has become
we've got the Mafia tier list
a late night tradition at BKB, where at the end of the night, after everyone's all gamed out, whoever's left in the late hours of the early morning.
Yeah, usually around midnight. So we call
midnight onwards. Yeah, that's we never start Mafia before midnight. We sit down for a game of Mafia and
or five.
Or five. And it's very fun.
We'll talk about last weekend.
So even come through like it's and also like you guys might laugh at me, but it is cheesy. But another great thing about Mafia is everyone that's playing Mafia, they come from different games. You have your Street Fighter crew, you have your Dragon Ball FighterZ crew, you have your Tekken crew. Like everyone's playing different games, but then when it comes to Mafia,
guys come in and play.
Yeah, exactly. Like everyone we're all FGC at the end of the day, and it's just so great to see just fucking everyone sitting down and just playing one game and just having fucking hella fun. Even though its game is fucking dumb as Mafia, but and if you don't know what Mafia is, just look it up somehow.
I think you stream it, don't you?
Yeah, we stream it.
Twitch.tv/BattleCat Bunker. I'll put that in. I'll
It's a BattleCat Bunker with a K.
Definitely a lot of Mafia.
We'll talk more about that.
Yeah, there's we've got a good 7 or 8 hours of footage from last weekend.
Yeah.
Last weekend we ended up playing till 6 a.m. on Friday and 6 a.m. on Saturday as well.
What? I left at 3 a.m. because I had to get up at 5 a.m.
And then the next day they did the same thing. Then they went to Gfinity the next day, and then they came after Gfinity.
Nice.
So they didn't play on the Sunday night though, which is good because I would have died.
Anyway, speaking of dying, I died inside when I saw that Miss X is now available for SNK Heroines.
Next!
Which is basically just a female Iori.
What's wrong? What's wrong with the game of SNK Heroines?
Next!
There's a lot wrong with that game.
Is that a girl?
It's Iori. It's like the gender bender Iori.
Oh, that's cool.
That's from one. I think the
Iori as a woman. I mean,
that's
the only important thing about him. He's got very good quality.
It's from that old the old SNK Pocket Fighters. It's a guest character. I don't know. I still probably wouldn't buy that game.
I like her name is very creative.
Yeah, Miss X.
They really didn't do much with his face. They just put a Ninja mask. Yeah, well, whatever. Like at this point, you just do this.
Fighting EX Layers is coming to PC on November 30th, and I believe there's a PC patch to come with it. It's going to be on sale for the first little bit.
Yeah, where's the Fighting EX Layer scene? Where you at, people?
No,
I know Benji's around.
It's a good game.
Busy having life.
Is it?
I think so.
It's pretty fun. It's just that it's... I don't know, it hasn't caught on people's...
I think if it comes to PC, it might. Like in Australia, PC seems to be the standard.
Yeah, but
it'll be easier to grab people. But I don't know if. Yeah, it's
was there any offline presence?
I was waiting for PC forever.
But then that game that just exploded. That game.
Eunice is good. It's a great game.
Yeah, it's a great game.
I love Eunice.
That game. I mean, we're going to talk about a Eunice Major in a little bit, but I played.
Nice.
I jumped on Eunice like last because I played Vanilla like when it came out 2-3 years ago.
Vanilla was good.
And we sat down and played, and like a character I'd spent hours and hours with. It's so funny that over the course of a game's lifespan,
use?
I used Elton because she was she was top.
Yeah.
It's so funny that like you can play a vanilla iteration of a game for hundreds of hours, and then like the meta can evolve to the point where I sat down and played that game, did everything I did in vanilla, and it just dawned on me that it's like I have no idea like what I'm doing. There is no semblance of a game plan here like whatsoever. And like anyway, I thought that was funny. Buy Fighting EX later if you like it, or don't. There are lots of other good games. In other release date news, Blaze Blue Central Fiction Special Edition is coming for Switch. The North American release date is February 7th. And
It's my sister's birthday.
I put this in because I like fighting games on Switch. It comes out on February 7th in North America and the day before in Europe. So early February. If you like that, you can get a special edition of Blaze Blue, which has all the DLC. For your Switch, buy everything on Switch.
For your Switch. Alright, Nintendo Shield.
We're going to put this infiltration news last because
Hey!
I don't want to get in there. But we'll get into some news results real quick. Events results real quick. Starting with the Injustice 2 Pro Series 2018 Grand Final. So
no MK11 announced.
No MK11. I'll run through top 8 real quick. Tied for 7th, we have DF Gur and Method, what's that, Silverai. And then tied for 5th, we got Simplicity Tweedy and PG Hayate. 4th, we had Noble Samiji. 3rd, we had Scar Samij. Sorry, it's weird. 3rd, Scar. 2nd, Noble Rewind. And 1st, Echo Fox.
Sonic Fox.
Oh
and he took it from winners, didn't he?
As far as I know, yes. And can I just add for those that don't know? So the grand final was Sonic Fox versus Rewind. Now Rewind is also the EVO champ for Injustice 2, and he's only 17. And for those that don't know much about the NRS scene, Rewind's dad has been in hospital for like months now. And you know as you all know, they live in America, and you know medical bills are hella expensive in America. And so when Rewind won EVO, it was a pretty touching moment for him and for his dad, and he made it to grand finals again. Now, although he lost, Sonic Fox actually after he won, he said he's gonna donate $10,000 from his prize money to Rewind's dad's medical bills. So It's great to see someone like, love him or hate him, Sonic Fox, like, he does have his shining moments, and to do something like that, it's just a great telling of, kind of like person Sonic Fox is, and the NRS scene and the bond they have between each other. So I find shit like that very admirable.
He's gonna win that money back next weekend.
Like, it doesn't matter.
No, but all props to him. All props to
He's
him.
harmless.
Yeah, but
he's got the ego, and like I think people don't like that. I think it's good for the scene.
And he talks like he's always like he just did like a line of cocaine. Like he never, at least 8. Like he just like.
But he's
like yeah man. And
well,
he's like,
he makes a lot of money.
He's 19, isn't he? Like he still can't legally drink. I saw him put a tweet out like he can't legally drink in the States. Like the kid is young.
Yeah, he's
a young
so
guy.
good.
Well,
he's so good.
He's a prodigy, man. It's
he's
crazy.
100. He's up there with the likes of Takiro and Justin Wong. Like 100% he's up there, and I would argue that point to death. Like yeah,
to be that dominant with like cross playing different
with
games
anything
and
at that
so
young, and
that young, and to like put himself out there, he does not pull any punches.
Yeah.
Like this is me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna body you.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what I'm wearing.
And he does it.
Like whatever you think of the guy personally, like you got to show respect for his gameplay.
Respectful.
So respect to him for the money. Respect to him for consistently just placing,
bodying people,
especially in a year where he's been focusing on Dragon Ball and doing. This is not his main game.
He said he's like not. He hasn't been. He hasn't entered in Injustice in like a couple months.
Right.
He's like, I'm just gonna focus on DBF. He's like, I'm gonna give it one last hurrah, and then after like IPS, he's totally dropping the game because he's like I'll come back when MK11 comes out or whatever.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? So yeah, and he still won it in winners, and
It was good. Like that was
and he won it using Joker.
He did.
He's like meant to be a bottom tier character. But he really likes the Joker, so he's like, fuck it. If I'm going to do this shit, I'm going to do it my way. And he went with Joker.
Injustice, the NRS community has a lot of really good personalities. Like, whenever they interview Scar, he's just talking about how much he's playing Red Dead and all that other stuff.
Scar and DJT are my favorite NRS players.
I just wish NRS players would stop, like, bitching. Like, the game clearly has a lot of life in it, but this community in general just does not do themselves any favors.
Let me put it this way. The top tier players in NRS, they're good. Like there's a reason why they're top tier, because they don't bitch. They just suck it up and do what needs to be done and just roll with the punches.
Right.
It's like literally everyone from like one level below and all the way down that are just mad vaginas. Like everyone. It's just like Jesus
It's
Christ.
a shame.
It's just like too
Straight
much.
out.
Please tell me I'm wrong.
I think they're definitely waiting for MK11 in Sydney anyway. They are very passionate, and I would never put it away thing. But they're obviously a bit burnt out from
Burnt out. The game's been up for 2 years.
But that's not what they used to say.
but
That's
it's
a
like
completely another
topic. I
topic.
think there's like a lot of stuff, like they've gone through a lot in terms of like the developer side, where they go, they definitely didn't have like a great
I'm pretty sure I'm about to disagree with what you're about to say.
That's alright. We don't need to get
Because
into
NRS
because of all the
supported
changes
the
and
game
updates
really good.
Yeah, of course, but like they kept on changing it, and I don't know if it's on one side or the other. What I'm saying is that there
You
was
mean
a
balance
dissonance.
patches?
Yeah, but
Okay.
there was a dissonance
But
between
that's
the
been-
community and the actual developer, and I think that's sort of stilted.
That's been the story of NRS games.
That's the
forever.
problem. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like a curse.
Maybe we'll get an NRS person back on in the future and they can defend their game because
Not Aaron, because no one understands what he says.
we're all relatively ignorant.
Speaks too fast.
So we'll move on to again a topic that we're not relatively ignorant.
Yes!
on. And this comes courtesy of Event Hubs, the IESF Esports World Championship 2018 results.
Can I just give a mad fucking shout out to the boy Dion? He made top 8 in this stacked as fuck tournament, and the only person he lost to is the guy that ended up winning this tournament. Let me put it this way. This is how good, by the way, this guy is, that big Dion.
It's single limb.
Single limb. I was talking to Dion like the entire weekend, blah 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 blah. As soon as he finished his match with Sora, the Saudi Arabian guy, I sent him a message, of course, I'm like, tough luck, man. Like, the guy played really good. You did great, blah, blah, blah. Giving him, all this pep talk, whatever. Dion responds to me, this guy's going to win the tournament. I go, I don't know, man. He's like, Youssef, mark my word, this guy is going to win the tournament. I go, why do you say that? He's like, he plays like Pakistani players, except faster. He thinks faster than the Pakistani players.
Oh, he's a Saudi Arabian
And then
player.
I'm like, dude, like there's still Chanel. Like, Chanel is a great player. First to 5, Korean, I'm like, dude, you honestly think he's going to be, if he goes up against Chanel first of all, he's like, Youssef, I'll bet you money right now, this guy's winning the tournament. Fast forward till the end of the tournament, this guy won the tournament.
All right.
Like, it's insane. It's insane how good this guy is.
We'll run through the results. Tied for 5th. So like we said, single elimination tournament. The boy from Australia, Dion Gray.
Yes.
Indonesia's SOA Meat. Switzerland's Kira Kira. The Philippines AK. Damn, AK 5th, huh?
Yeah.
4th place, India's, Tejan?
Tejan, yeah.
3rd place, South Korea's Rox Chanel. 2nd place, Hakayo with King. And 1st place, Saudi Arabia's Sora. How did this guy, this Japanese player, I've never heard of him. How does he stack up compared to the rest of them?
He's really, really good.
Okay, so he's known
Really,
among
really
Tekken
good.
players?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's really, really good. Yeah.
How does the qualifying for this tournament, how did this go
So
down?
IESF, the way it works, each country, they run the qualifier, and then whoever wins gets to go to the finals, and they're held in different country each year.
Okay.
So last year they were in Busan, Korea. This year they were in Kaohsiung, I don't know how you pronounce it, Taiwan. So, and then the rules are a bit different. They run a single elimination but longer sets.
Yeah.
So pools are actually first to 4.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. It's best out of 7, and then top 8 is first to 5. So, but it's all single elim. So that's how it works. It's pretty interesting concept, and Dion, seriously, that guy is truly world class.
Yeah,
like
good
the
on
fact,
him.
and he's not even like the only one in Australia. We have more than one player in Australia that are world class in Tekken, and as we saw as well with BK's performance and like ZG and that, like in Street Fighter as well. Like BK consistently plays highest out of all Australians whenever he travels for Street Fighter 5. As far as I know, he can't.
I think ROF might have him beat at this point, but he's up there.
Well, yeah, maybe.
ROF, you can't beat Sako and then be discredited from the conversation. Like,
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. In
No,
terms of
you're right,
results,
you're right,
Yeah,
okay.
but yeah, definitely ROF and BK. Like I'm saying, there's more than one person.
Yeah, okay.
Like, considering the size of the scene in Australia, we definitely have world-star players across multiple games. Again, do we need to remind people that Jack, aka Audacity, beat Goichi in Guilty Gear?
That's
like
so
you know
good. That's
that
so good.
that happened. Jack beat Goichi. I mean, so yeah, it's good to see, despite everything that we fucking say about the scene, like
We're bitter,
some
but,
players
you know.
actually pull their socks up, fucking do their
Get make their plane trip and go to the tournament that they were scheduled to do, compete in it and do well.
I know.
Despite the fact they almost missed it.
So, who do you guys see as like? I mean, for you, more Street Fighter side, and for you, Tekken, who do you see as like the prospects for like 2019, so that you see rising in the ranks, that they'll make their mark, at that, because there's always like
I already know
right
have
now
my
there's a
answer
bunch of new players
in my head. I don't know if
I'm guessing.
I already know exactly
go
who's going to
Tekken.
dominate 2019 in Tekken.
that?
And that's free. Alchemist and Rek.
Right,
100%.
right. Yeah.
And I'll put money against anyone who wants to like prove me otherwise. 2019,
been
Alchemist
getting
and Rek
insanely-
are ruining everyone. Like 2018 is done. Like we got like a month and a half left. Like 2019, they're ruining everyone. Like free.
I would say, I was gonna say Rek, and then after.
100%. And I'll put any amount of money. Come see me. Any amount of money. So yeah.
And what about the Street Fighter?
I think on the
side?
SF side, like, don't sleep on New Zealand.
Yes.
That's my answer.
Yes, I agree.
Do not sleep on New Zealand.
I agree.
Because, my God, they've got like Ghost Chips. What's his name? Cam the Minot player. Like,
they're good.
God
Even
damn.
Zazov did sick.
The big
like,
chopper?
Dojo, like that was big chopper. Yeah.
Don't sleep on New
this weekend
Zealand.
it was really
Yeah,
cool,
definitely don't
He's a
sleep on New
Zangief,
Zealand.
man. That's crazy.
No, his main is Abigail.
Just like he used all the
which is essentially Roy did Zangief.
Yeah.
That's my answer. Like, obviously, we know at this point a lot of the Australian players are known quantities, but I would say in terms of the most surprise, like, do not sleep on New Zealand.
Yeah.
They are consistently getting better and better to the point where I'm like, I want them to come
Talk
to
about
Taiwan.
New Zealand. Shout outs to Wellington. I'm gonna go there for Christmas. I'm gonna see Cornwallis again.
Oh.
He's got one of my BKB shirts. I gave it to him
Nice.
at BAM because his
Sick.
name had corn in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And we
That
had
was
that
the
whole
meme.
thing
We
where
had the whole-
everybody, the meme where
Helen-
everybody had
Helen
a name
put
to do
everyone
corn.
corn in the
I
name.
still can't change my name from Smash
6
GG.
months. You need to wait.
I
6
know. I
months
have to.
before
I
you
wait
can
like an
change
extra. It should be done by now. I don't know why.
it. June, July, August, September, October.
The best one is Dion's name change. It's the greatest.
All right, let's move on. We'll get through the rest of this news real quick.
Yes.
Starting with, this comes courtesy of Event Hub's Dream Hack Atlanta, which happened, I think, this happened, would have been last weekend. So this was the DreamHack event, which had a lot of FGC stuff, but Dragon Ball Fighters had to get cancelled. So we'll just quickly run through the top
we
three.
still don't know why. Just
Yeah,
Japan's
it's probably a licensing thing, but
Yeah.
we don't know. So Soul Calibur 6 was there. The top three for that was Dragon in third with Ivy. What's that? Sane in second with Ivy, and BXA Party Wolf with Mina and Killick.
Can I just get you just not run through who won, but just the characters in top 8?
Okay.
So-
Oh, Sonic Fox was in fifth down there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
there were 2 Ivies, 2 Changwas, and 2 Aswells.
Okay.
It's like I don't know if I want
Yeah.
to see that many repetitions in the top 8.
But it's still quite early. Like,
I know,
people
I
are
know.
trying to get the money. They go to the easy stuff. If it's still like this in 3-4 months, we'll
Yeah.
talk. But
True.
What's this? Smash 4 was won by Tweak with Cloud. He beat Dabuz, who played Rosalina, and Void with Sheik and Fox. Melee was there, but I think there was some other Smash Summit event, so a lot of
Yes.
names were missing. Absent Page won it with Fox over S2J's Falcon, and Shootout was in third. SF5 was run, but this was also the same weekend as the Last Chance qualifiers.
So many shit.
So Psycho took that with Nakali over Ice Effects Laura, and Golden Sen with Dulcim and Blanca in third. Tekken 7, Panda Global Speed Kids took that over Pork Chop, and UIU won with Xiao Yu.
Don't worry about the rest.
Yeah, there were some other games. I want to shout out Flux, who won Cross Tag Battle with Mitsuru and Nu. He beat Fame, who has been like dominating the NA scene.
Yeah.
Just because I really like that game. There was other Smash stuff and Smash clones, but I
Yeah.
just don't care enough.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to Climax of Night, which was
Pretty sure I watched the porno that was called.
yeah. So I've seen okay.
Pretty sure.
It was a French bred centric tournament run in Atlanta. So that had
I definitely saw that one.
Dengeki,
Got him.
Under Night in Birth, Melty Blood, and Cross Tag Battle. So this was a very specialized tournament just for these 4 games, and it was stacked. Like they had, I think, 198 attendees across the 4 titles, which is
Damn.
kind of impressive
Wow.
for a series or a company who makes games this niche. We'll just run through the top 8 for those. So tied for 7th in Undernight Inbirth EXE latest, we had Infinity with Hyde, and I, That Guy with Byakuya in 7th. Burger Time and J3 tied for 5th with Merkava and Lin Fernon respectively. FGC Scenario. So this guy, 4th place with Eltonum. He was the Eltonum player that dominated in vanilla. Like he was the only character that was using Eltonum consistently well, and he sort of made a name for himself that despite the fact that Eltonum was kind of just outside the top tier in terms of tier rankings, he would body everybody. So I think a community effort flew him out, and he placed 4th. And then in 3rd place we had Endeku with Takashi, who used Endeku. 2nd place was Red Blade, who used Erica, and FGC's Clear Lamp won it with Byakuya. So that was a really good top 8. That game is, I think, the perfect combination of like grounded and bonkers. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
Check it out if you haven't seen
Like
it.
if you think that Guilty Gear is too wild
Too
and
much,
anime
yeah.
and stuff like that, like that's
Play
it's really
Junior.
subdued anime style. It's very
It's
nice.
a great
Yes.
gateway into anime games.
And all of these archives were on Funky P and Data FGC, so check out those archives. I don't know what, like, I'm sure you can find them through there. Uniol is great, and if you're in Australia, there's a really healthy scene for it.
Very healthy scene.
Cross tag, tied for 7th, we have Data Joel with Narukami and Ruby, and Fame with Narukami and Jin. Evo runner-up Fame in 7th.
Yes.
Tied for 5th, we have Crescent Doza with Ruby and you, and so Ruby and you, and you played them in both orders, and Bobby Boucher with Narukami and Ez tied for 5th. 4th place, we had Antiquarian with Mitsuru and Goro in 4th. That's disgusting.
Why is everyone using you?
He's very, 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 very good.
Oh, okay.
He's a very, very versatile
That's usually the answer.
Why is
3rd
everyone
place.
using
This guy. Oh.
He's just... I'll show you some stuff later. He's very good. FOE Omnix with Lin and Hyde. 2nd place Master Step with Hazama and Mika. That's a jank-ass team. And 1st place, what is that? What? Dactyl Eastside with Ruby S and Batista S. S is very good. They're very good characters. These vanilla...
I know S.
These very vanilla characters are very good like glues. You can sort of like put whatever jank you want on top of them. Cross tag, if you want a bit of jank with your anime, like you play some cross tag. I'm a big fan.
I've heard it's like a very good game to blow steam off of, but
Yes, and like Marvel 3, the meta was like, every tournament, like the game would get pushed.
yeah.
Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle has very much filled that void where every tournament it's like show and tell of bullshit, right?
Right.
Like, I come behind my back and I've got a chainsaw and like a sword with a shotgun attached to the other hand. Like, and every tournament someone just bringing out some other bullshit with it.
Yeah.
So if you miss that part of Marvel
Find
3,
some new like unblockable,
it's
100% grab tech or something.
it's a jank game, man, but it's
But
so
it's good
much
jam
fun.
because everyone can do it.
Everyone can do it. It's one of those games where if you ask the question, can I do, and before you can even get the question out, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
So, and that goes both ways with offense and
Can I
defense.
connect? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, you can put your like fist there. Like, it is very true.
It's very welcoming.
Dengeki, I didn't actually
Don't worry
watch any of this. It's top 4. So 4th place Dollar with I'm not, 4th place Dollar, 3rd place Penguin, 2nd place Takashi, 1st place Tamaki, and his name is in brackets. So good job to those guys. That game's still going strong. Melty Blood actress again. We'll do top 3 of that. So FGC Clear Lamp, who
won Unio.
bloody Unio,
Unio.
and
We
he's
have this
using
game available here.
H
actually.
Nana
I've got it
Sashiki.
on 2 computers.
2nd place Multi Bleed with
Multi
Letters
Bleed.
and Crescent Moon. And then Scroll Vermilion played Eltonum and Sion. So that was a really good tournament. I'm glad that a tournament like that can exist. Because the market is so stacked, right? Like, you have so many tournaments for the big games.
So many good games as well. So, it's good that even not the, your Tekkens and your Street Fighters and your Dragon Balls, they're still getting love and everything.
And you can have a dedicated event for these
Yes.
games. So this warmed my heart as somebody who likes these games, but as well as, like, someone who just wants to see all games grow. It's just good that is a thing.
Community!
So we'll move on real quick to a game that does not need much supporting.
The Kumite.
The Red Bull Kumite, specifically talking about Street Fighter V. So
Shouts to BK.
when we last left our heroes, BK Sama and Didi, they were
They almost
mere
missed it.
seconds away from missing their flight, but they in fact made their flight, and
It went to France.
they did quite well in the tournament. We'll see if it.
Yes.
I think
both of them
they
are
fell
there.
just outside top 16, but they made it
BK
quite
made
far.
top 16
Yeah.
in
the last chance qualifier, of course.
Yes.
Let's see if there's a results for that anywhere on this page. But the last chance qualifier, that went to top 3 because of, I think, infiltrations. No, infiltration spot went to
Angry Bird.
And then last chance qualifier was always going to have the 3. And the 3 people that qualified out of the last chance qualifier were Hot Dog, who's a Taiwanese Bison player, Gachikun, which we were expecting, and Junior Leo, which was the Ken player from France. He actually was one of the Kens. So BK lost to 2 Ken players, and one of them was Junior Leo. He's a nut. That guy's a nut.
All Ken players are nut.
So shout outs to Zazob, Didi,
Even secondary Ken players.
BK and ZG, who all entered, all did incredibly well. Like Zazob got clipped because like that guy's got mad knowledge.
All made it out of pools.
They all made it out of pools in the last chance qualifier.
So funny to see
Put 'em
Australia in the
on the
last like year and a half, 2 years.
We're not a meme anymore, guys.
The results have been like amazing.
Constantly improving.
So we'll run through top 8 for that. That was a stacked tournament. If you have any interest in Street Fighter 5, check it out. Like the archives are real good. But tied for 7th, Takeda with Akuma, Gachikun with Rashid. Tied for 5th, Luffy with Armika, Smug with Balrog and G. 4th place, last year's champion Nemo with Urium. 3rd place, Daigo Umehara with Guile. 2nd place, Evo champion Problem X with M. Bison and Abigail. And Fujimura took that one with Ibuki, I think from winners?
Probably.
I think he took it from winners. That guy's nuts.
He's so good. He is so good.
It's not even like Ibuki's bullshit, but
He
Fujimura is
so
bullshit.
good. He is good.
Like you look at this top 16, you got Ibuki number 1, and there's no other Ibuki in top 16. Like the guy is.
Like I said,
Yeah.
he's good.
His Evo consistency.
Yeah.
He's one of my picks for
100%.
Capcom Cup.
I reckon him.
Controversial, but you know.
Yeah, I know. Him, Takeda goes with that saying, and I think maybe Fudo dark horse. Well, not dark horse, but Fudo. He's like 4th on the thing.
That guy's got a 2nd place complex. I don't know. He's going to get the grand finals and he's going to be like, but what if it happens again? And then Abigail's going to hit crouching heavy kick and activate, and then Fudo's going to go home in 2nd place. But shout outs to Fujimura. That was a good tournament.
If Big Bird cops the same break that he got at Scene, like he's definitely a contender.
Maybe. By the way, Xavier's here. So he's our off-screen commentator.
If Big Bird wins, oh my god, I'll be so happy.
I would love that.
I would
love it to go to another region that's not America.
Yeah, hell
You know what's so cooked about Capcom Cup is like the sheer disproportionate number of events that go to America,
And
then still no one.
Dominican Republic have more players in Capcom Cup than America.
It's just funny. I find it really funny. And anyway, shout outs to America. You'll get one day, champ.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you, Brian F? We need you.
Brian F, please, the streamer. But speaking of Street Fighter 5, Red Bull Conquest also happened last weekend, and there were 2 tournaments actually. The format of that was kind of weird. There was also Guilty Gear and Tekken. Sorry, we'll talk about that as well. So we'll run through the non-Street Fighter games real quick. So 3rd place for Guilty Gear was UYU Kisike for Team LA. 2nd place, Lost Soul for Team New York. And for Team Atlanta, Nova won that one. That was pretty stacked. If you I don't know how they do things, but they're everywhere.
Is it UYU or?
I think it's UYU.
You guys say UYU.
UYU.
Tekken 7, 3rd place was Glaciating for Team Online. Have you guys know who that guy is?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
2nd place, well, shout outs to him then. 2nd place, Joey Fury. 2nd place for Team Boston. And Jimmy J. Tran took that one for Team San Francisco.
Jimmy J. Tran.
Was this a pretty built-up Tekken 7 event, or was this just like a very American-focused thing?
I think it was
Very, very American.
Yeah.
It seemed like Red Bull Conquest, the focus really was SF because of the
Second after
last chance.
Zero the Shadow and 4th.
Last chance qualifier. But so Street Fighter 5 was a bit jank because there was the last chance qualifier, because this tournament doubled up as the Capcom Pro Tour North American Finals, and then there was a last chance qualifier for that finals. So they ran a tournament there were the 7 highest North American ranked players on the leaderboards, and then they were playing for the spot for a guaranteed Capcom Cup spot, and then the 8th spot for the finals was determined by another tournament they ran on the day, which was an open bracket tournament.
Word.
So that's a mouthful, but the tournament,
So
the qualifier for the qualifier was won by Punk. He took that over Nephew in a Colleen mirror match because of course Punk was like, I got the best.
Colleen.
Yeah. Actually, I think they had some other
Yeah,
thing
done.
with like the Conquest events, but
Check out my
I don't know how
Colleen.
this shit works. But Punk won it over Nephew to make the regional finals, I think. No, he didn't. That was the Conquest event, which was the thing that they were doing with Tekken and Guilty Gear. He won that over Nephew. Then there was another tournament, which was the open bracket qualifier,
Which he
They're
also
going
won.
hard.
that was won by CJ Truth.
Oh yeah, true.
He
CJ.
I swear to God,
Takedo.
I probably got this wrong. He took it over to Keto.
He did.
Damn.
Third place was John Takeuchi. Fourth place Storm Kubo. That was a stacked tournament. Like you go down to 13th place, you got the likes of Punk, Nemo, and Mena. That was bonkers. And I think that tournament got them. Was that a shit, man? I don't know.
Who cares? I think. By the way, I think Mena's gonna go 0-2 at Capcom Cup.
The controversial.
I'm dead serious.
So Punk won the Red Bull Conquest thing. He also won the North American Finals over CJ, who I believe qualified via that other tournament. Anyway, CJ is going to Capcom Cup. I'm sad that Idom bowed out in third. I would have liked to see him go to
Idom
Capcom
is sick.
Cup.
He's so cute.
And he's
Laura's trash.
Laura's trash, but I like seeing him like rob people. Knuckle doing fourth. He picked G over Justin Smonat, which was cool. That's a really good.
Did he
set.
win?
He did.
He changed to Mika for the last game.
He did, but he switched to Mika for the last game, but he won the counter picking war. Like he got the first game, and by the time he switched to Mika, he was locked.
He was locked in. Yeah.
So that's cool. If you disregard how the tournament structure works, that was a cool thing. But fuck, if your tournament needs like a pamphlet to be like, this is what we're playing for, maybe you should simplify your tournament structure. I don't know.
Agreed.
So speaking of Capcom Cup, sorry, this is the last Street Fighter shilling we're doing. Because the Capcom, now that 31 out of 32 players have been confirmed, I thought we'd just run down who is going to Capcom Cup real quick.
And we can talk about TWT final after.
Yeah, I'll pull up the information for that one. So the people who are going to Capcom Cup this year are Takedo, Fujimura, Problem X, Fudo, Sako, Justin, NL, Oil King, Knuckle Do, Daigo, Luffy, Haitami, Xiao Hai, Phenom, Kaba, Big Bird, Gachikun, Xian. The Capcom Cup Last Chance Qualifier, which for some reason is
Okay,
seated 19th this year, which is bizarre. Anyway, that will happen on the weekend of Capcom Cup, which is why we don't know all 32. CJ Truth, Bonchan, Margo, Punk, Irabashi Zangief, Momochi, Veloren, Storm Kubo, Nemo, Chris Tatarian, Mena RD, Angryberg, and Crossover RD. So I guess CJ got in on points. But anyway, it's going to be a stacked weekend if you have even a passing interest in Street Fighter.
Well, when is it?
Yeah, when is it exactly?
This will be happening, I believe, the first weekend of December. Let me double check.
Wait, when is TWT?
That's on the first week. I think it's December 7th or something.
Sorry, let me double
Please.
check.
Oh shit.
Capcom Cup
Viewing
2018,
party.
and then TYT
No,
2018.
Because I'm busy
final.
December 1st and
It's in
2nd.
5 weeks.
Huh?
Because I'd definitely rather miss out on Capcom Cup than TWT. Please tell me TWT is the following
It's
weekend.
on the third weekend, maybe the second weekend.
I'm googling it, fam.
It's alright, we're googling it.
Yeah.
I'm
Because I
googling
know
it,
it's on the
fam.
same day as the finals of Gfinity.
Okay, Capcom Cup is December 14th through 16.
Yeah.
So I'll be in Melbourne, so I can't watch that. That's also the same weekend as
Cash Royals crossover.
yeah, exactly. So I don't
So
know.
when's TWT? Then tell me it's December
I'm
1
looking
and
it
2.
up. I'm looking
It
it
is.
up now.
It is. I'm gonna have to fuck you. I've got such a busy weekend.
You're going to have to fuck who?
Yeah, like what?
Is it? Is that
What?
confirmed?
I don't know.
I'm just gonna hang on.
I got a Christmas party and then a wedding. Got a Christmas party on Saturday and then a
On
wedding
December
on Sunday.
1st?
Yeah.
God, that's lame. Come on,
Why?
people. Because it's so far from Christmas.
Well, it's not a proper Christmas party. It's like end of training
Oh, so it's, yeah, just for general.
challenge.
No, I know, because I know some office, some workplaces, they do that. They make like Christmas parties and it's like in November or something. It's like, what the fuck?
What's the date?
Get booked out for Christmas parties.
Yeah, because they want, that's cheap.
If anyone in the chat knows,
It's like, well, it's Thanksgiving, let's just do fucking Christmas at
if
this
anyone knows when Christmas, sorry, not when Christmas is.
We know when Christmas
point.
is.
If anyone knows what Christmas
December
is,
1st. What,
throw us a
December 1 and
comment.
2.
Got it. Thanks
We
for
only know
nothing,
about
chat.
we only know about FGC events. We don't know about these normie holidays.
No normie holidays here. Speaking of normie holidays, Evo Japan announced some games.
I don't get
Some games. That's so weird.
Honestly,
I can't believe it.
honestly, I don't know what's to do with Evo Japan.
Look,
Like,
okay, the three
it's so
games. The
strange.
three games are Tekken 7, Blaze Blue Cross Tag, and Soul Calibur 6. So one game for every person going to Evo Japan.
What an art system!
I'm sorry.
Namco shill events at this point.
Look,
they've
like,
just taken out Capcom.
I think they want to like promote Soul Calibur 6. That's obvious, and I don't know. So SF5 last year was pretty good. Man.
They've come out and said with DBZ and SF they're finalizing probably the esports back-end deals. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, remember, I think Evo Japan last year, SF5 didn't get announced till later. It was rumored to not be there. There was some BS with Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
And obviously Dragon Ball's got the license attached to it. Like we saw with DreamHack it got.
There's no way they're not gonna have Dragon Ball. That would be so weird.
No, but they should have both. Let's be real, man.
No, they will. Like they will have. Like that's what I mean. If Dragon Ball's left out, then you gotta assume that it's not because it's not gonna be there. So it's the same thing with Street Fighter 5. It doesn't mean it's not gonna be there.
Look,
It's just
honestly,
not announced yet.
Honestly,
They
like
probably
this is the bottom line for me. I've been to many Japanese tournaments that all suck balls. Like Japanese tournaments are fucking terrible.
It's not
Like,
wrong.
like abysmal. I don't understand how country
There's no warmth?
like Japan can just continue to year in year out just put out these absolute trash tournaments. Like, it's honestly annoying. But like, I feel bad for people who like saving up their money and like, you know, genuinely looking forward to something like Evo Japan because it holds the mantra of Evo. I don't want people to like fucking get their hopes up, travel all the way to Japan, get their fucking hopes broken. Like it's not fun. I want people to enjoy themselves in Japan. First, I fucking put it in Fukuoka, which is it's a great city, but if
There's nothing in Fukuoka.
If you're going on a touristy binge, not to go play video games, and then now like. Come on, man! Like,
so the chat says, what's that? Kate in the
I know
chat
at least
says,
5 people that are already booked for Evo that like regretting.
Yeah, I know.
Right
If
now
you're coming through
because they're
Tokyo,
not
hit
sure
me
if
up.
they're gonna have their game there once they arrive.
Look, so Kate in the chat says Markman has said that they're talking to the other companies about announcing the rest of the expected games. I think they felt obliged to announce something now. This is all speculation, but they felt obliged to announce something now.
It is 2 months out.
Because it's 2 months out.
2 months. You need
And
something.
even though they don't have the whole hand ready...
I will give him this for now.
Yeah. So look, I look at that and I see sort of red. Like Evo is a spectacle, and if you're there for the spectacle, I think it's still worth going to. But as a competitor, if you're still on the fence, maybe like the view from the fence is alright. Like you don't need to hop off like straight away.
I don't think like participating in Evo was my highlight at all last year.
Definitely.
It was actually I went to both Evos this year, and the Japan one and the one in Vegas. And I would say, like, competing in the one in Vegas was way more important to me compared to competing in the one in Japan. Yeah.
It's
like
the second
watching
year.
people. Yeah, like the one in Japan, it was more about the trip to Japan and the surrounding things we did, rather than the actual event itself. The event itself was in a mall on the 3rd floor in a weird sort of like there's way too many people. There was not that it was like a bad experience. I'm sure I saw a lot of people like Alchemist had a great time. There's a whole bunch of people that had a really, really good time. But I'm saying it wasn't, the highlight wasn't the competition.
Can I ask
it was the event and the surrounding, like, thing, which was Tokyo itself.
Yeah.
Fukuoka might be not as great for those people that, were expecting to be able to travel and take a Japan trip for the first time and experience Evo at the same time.
Can I ask a question? Are they charging venue fee?
We'll look it up
Because
now.
I don't know if people know, Evo Japan lost $1 million last year.
It's their first year. I'm not totally
$1
surprised.
million or
by that.
100,000? 100,000. Look,
$7 trillion.
like I'm serious.
$1 million yen.
Million yen.
No, maybe like $100,000 or something like that. Like, how do you expect to run a full-fledged Evo scale tournament and charge people
I
nothing?
think if they lost $1 million, they wouldn't be holding another.
Like, I don't understand. Honestly, I could be million. I could be wrong. Look,
it seems like
can you
way
look
too
it up?
much.
Evo
It seems
Japan.
like
Just
too
type
much.
it in Google. Evo Japan loses whatever, and then I'm pretty sure it's always in event hubs.
$1.13 million
Whoa.
due to lack of sponsorship.
Thank
Damn.
you. Like,
But it's their first year. I don't think that's... it's their first year. That is not completely unheard
alright,
of.
well, I don't know. 1.3 million is a fucking lot of money.
Not
guys.
for an event that size, I don't think.
Alright, well, hopefully they can recuperate because I don't want them to, be in the negative again.
It's
2
enough
years in a
for
row.
investors to look away.
Look, I don't mean to sound too down on Evo Japan. All I'm saying is just
Yeah, like I said, I'm just worried about all these people that are going.
Yeah.
I want them to have a good time. I don't want to fucking get cucked by either Japan again.
And if you have any questions about, like, I speak Japanese, by the way, so you can always ask me and I can advise. But Fukuoka, if you're going just to go to Fukuoka, maybe type Fukuoka into Google, like, before you book.
Yeah, it's
pay on that.
everything
ticket.
you need to do in Fukuoka, you can do
Free
in
entry.
one day.
First year and free entry, yeah. So last year was free entry. I couldn't find any information on it, but to be honest, I didn't really look that hard. So we're going to go to the last news story. I don't want to talk too much about this one because it's been covered to death, but
Spicy one.
we kind of need to touch on it. Infiltration has withdrawn from 2018 CPT, as outlined in Capcom and Panda Global's official responses. This comes from SRK. So he's also, I believe, parted ways with Panda Global.
Yes.
So they issued a full statement about it. Obviously, Panda Global, when the allegations came up, they said he's not going to compete. We're going to do our due diligence, and they went quiet about it. So the course of this week, they released a full statement, complete with video and documents outlining everything that went down. And basically what happened was Infiltration decided that he's going to withdraw from the rest of the year's competition.
Next year.
I believe he's parted ways with Panda Global.
Yeah, he has, 100%.
Okay. So yeah, he's going to go and like clear up whatever it is he has to clear up. And in his words, it was to sort of take away like the spotlight off him and let people focus on the game. It's PR speak, but I personally think like the way Panda Global handled it was as good as they could have handled
Really
it.
good.
So
He's out for the 2019
he's
entire
sitting
tournament.
2019 now.
But he can come back in on the 2020.
Yes, he can come, but Capcom said if he has any other offense of the sort, he's banned forever from entering any Capcom event.
Yeah.
Which is fair. Personally, I just keep it short and simple. I think Infiltration is a cunt because I met him and interacted with him, so he deserves it. And
It's not how that works.
I'm just saying.
Editorial right here.
Yeah, I mean, he lost to Somniac, then didn't pay for karaoke at OHN, and then sat outside of the room soaking the entire night.
Personal grudges.
So I'm just saying, that's enough for me to, and he kept sideballing
Lock him up.
because he didn't pay, and he knew he didn't pay. So stuff like that irk me.
All I'm gonna say is,
so yeah, he's a cunt, and whatever.
Look, all I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna comment on that or him as a person. All I'm gonna say is like, props to Panda Global for the way they handled it. I don't know how I feel about Capcom stepping in because it's not like. I mean, for
they have to. He's playing and promoting the game.
There are a couple problems with the way.
Does that mean he can play in other games?
Yeah, that's
lineups, like in Bandai Namco.
Hear me out. There are a couple problems with the way, like, because for example, Riot and League of Legends, they have their own governing body. They are employing, to my knowledge at least, like they have some sort of financial stake in their players. All of the people in their league are salaried players.
Right.
For someone like Capcom to say, say Infiltration is banned from CPT, and he shows up to like OHN, and OHN is a premier event, but like, it's such a muddy thing where like, if he's banned from a CPT event, but he's not banned from OHN, he can still enter other. Like, what does that really mean?
OHN is a CPT event, so he's banned from OHN.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, but what if it's not?
I'm just
What
asking.
if it's not? Like,
It's not necessarily.
You can still enter like non-CPT Street Fighter 5.
Like Capcom and CPT are a separate entity to these like organizations. They don't own OHN. They don't own like all these other tournaments.
So does that mean other tournaments would reject him just to not piss off Capcom?
Unless Capcom specifically tells a tournament like OHN, Infiltration is banned from this tournament because you guys are affiliated with us and you are a Capcom Pro Tour event. Yeah, then he can come.
Well, that's one surefire way to lose support from any possible future support from Capcom, is by entering a player they blackballed.
Well, I mean, it's not. Like, that's not the first instance. Like,
No, like I'm saying in terms of like technically you could, right?
There have been instances of the past of US players doing that, where they're banned from CPT events, but they just don't enter the Street Fighter portion of an event.
You just go away from the governing body and you're...
Which is why it's sort of weird to me that Capcom is getting involved, because A, they don't have that relationship with their players, and B, they don't have that relationship with the events. So I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't think, considering the way Infiltration handled this, I don't think he's going to try and go out of his way to piss off Capcom.
No,
I'm pretty sure
I
he's
agree.
just going to stay, through the rules and not try to enter side events. He's probably got plans on his life.
Can you imagine 2020 when he comes back? How's that going to be?
I think he's going to be fine.
He probably will be.
And I hope that if, like, whatever, as long as everything gets resolved in his personal life, like, I hope, because a lot of No, I don't want to go down the road,
do you
but
think,
like,
do you think that that idea that like people that are like over 30 and stuff like that as we get older, like you're seeing a lot more now that like fighting games in Australia become much of, I think even in the world you're seeing more like older school players that have more experience still do really well.
he will do well
you
if
know.
he comes back.
I think he'll do very well. And he's proven it. He's great at Street
Yeah, but I
Fighter
mean,
4.
like, now-
He was
like,
great
it
at
used to be,
Street
you know,
Fighter
you
Cross
always
Tekken,
say-
and he is great at Street Fighter 5. So, and I'm sure he can like practice.
I
that
think
and-
now that you're seeing like a longer like period of history with the FGCs around, you're seeing like older players that getting older and older, and it doesn't like they always say like younger reflexes and blah blah blah, but really I think it's
think it's
about
a
how
mix.
much time you get time to invest in.
Yeah.
He
'Cause
worked
when you
hard
get
and got
older,
results.
you have
he did,
like
he
a
did
life.
work hard.
Gamer B's in his late 30s, works hard, gets results.
Yeah,
Daigo's
exactly.
Works hard or just picks annoying invisible
both.
characters.
Doesn't matter.
That's smart. That's smart. I mean, I'm not knocking the hustle, but I'm just saying.
Last thing I'll
Just
say
making
about this
making
is that
the actual challenge list.
Look, can I also add another thing so people don't think I'm just totally this like infiltration hater? Every time not every time, well, whenever something like that happens, I like to also ask the question like, what did the girl do? Like it's not like he just woke up one day and he's like I'm just gonna go all Street Fighter on this bitch. You know what I mean?
I quite frankly
could
don't
there
think
be a
that's
reason?
irrelevant. I don't think that's relevant to
Yeah,
anything.
like-
That's like none of our. I don't care less. Like
No one knows.
as a fan of Street Fighter, as a competitor, no one knows. It's none of our business. And quite frankly, as long as he like professionally conducts himself at events, whatever he does in his personal life, as long as it's legally above, like as long as that's being taken care of by the governing body that takes care of it, it is none of our goddamn business.
Amen.
So like, good on. Look, all I'll say is good on Panda Global for the way they handled it.
Yeah, PG did sick.
And like I guess we'll sort of take it as it comes. We were going to talk to Stephane about BKB because that's it for news, but he's just left the room. So why don't we talk about me streaming this Thursday night
Oh yeah?
on twitch.tv/camera. I'm going to just do Manat stuff because I've got like...
Are you gonna play online?
Nah, I think I'm going to do a bunch of replay stuff in just training mode. I might play online if people want to play, but I don't want to just jump in ranked because I come from a country where ranked isn't like peasant like internet fodder. Like when you play ranked, it's actually good.
On Aussie.
Aussie ranked is garbage, so I might play if like people want to jump in the chat, but otherwise I'll do like replay stuff and just training mode stuff because I think like when I did commentary for SF, that was what I excelled at, so I can probably articulate some stuff. But if people want to play, we'll play it. Hey Stephane, you want to come talk about BKB?
Sure.
Can I have one too?
No, I'm not eating on thing like.
No, it makes too much noise.
Yeah, I just wanted one.
Thank you.
Sugar hit.
All right, so now this is a portion where we could talk about you. So let's talk about Stephane, the man, the myth, the legend. Talk about how
And the myth, the
you
legend.
started
Well,
fighting games.
I'm a low tier Tekken player in Sydney,
as of when?
and I actually don't play the game as much as I used to because of running this place. It's amazing how I've surrounded myself with fighting games and ended up actually completely putting a wall in between me and them because I have to cater to everyone else playing them. But so personally I started in maybe 12, 13 years ago.
Jesus.
I remember the first time, so I used to go to George Street, and when I was 16 with my girlfriend and her friend, shout outs to Fatal Innocence.
Oh, I remember her.
That's a guy.
Oh,
She was
I know him. Hold on, he's a DIY player.
yeah. I don't remember her
He
name
has
exactly.
long hair.
Yeah,
really
Aaron.
white skin.
Really
Aaron, yes.
Nice guy.
You got Shane off stream.
Yeah, but anyway, we were in George Street, and I was about 16. I think Tekken 5 DR was out at that time, and I used Dragunov, and I liked it, and I didn't know anything about the game.
Great game,
I
DR.
still didn't know anything about the game, probably all the way into like Tekken Tag 2, probably. Yeah, and then I started learning about frames and all that stuff, and because I was spending so much time just hanging out with the Sydney Tekken scene, and eventually branching out into George Street, went to GG's, which was a place in Central.
Rest in
Sydney.
peace.
Yeah, and that
Okay.
place sort of brought me together with more of just the Tekken scene, but also like the Street Fighter players and the general also do OHN, people that actually went out of their way on the side to organize events, for everyone to attend. And basically, I've been in it for a while. I sort of would play, and then 6 months would go by and I didn't play, and then I come back in the scene and play again. And I'd always had a social connection though with people in the FGC, regardless of whether I was playing or not. So I've known like Youssef, and I don't think I was around when you were around.
We might have crossed paths. I was late
Yeah.
GG, so we might have crossed paths, but Tekken players were scary, so I didn't.
And
really
again,
interact
like I
with
was
people.
in and out all the time because of like life in general and stuff. And then eventually, about 4 years ago now, I moved to China, in the deep northeast frozen tundra of China.
So you're
about 3
a
years.
KOF 97 god then.
Oh my god, they love that game. It's everywhere in every arcade. It's crazy. But I was actually really lucky that in my city there's a guy called I believe he calls himself Tekken Emperor. Or
I think-
or no, he calls it like Bandai. I don't know. He's on social media, but he's in China, so social media is a bit like separate because they've got a lot of their own like Chinese
Their own social
platforms
media.
and everything. Yeah, so they don't really like he's
Rebound.
got a Facebook and everything, but I can't remember what his name was because he doesn't use it that much. But anyway, he actually put in his own money to get cabs for Tekken 7, and they ended up also getting the FR update. And like the only other place would be maybe Shanghai and Beijing in all of China that has those cabs.
Wait,
And we
China
had,
got
3 of
FR?
them. We got FR in
Legally?
Changchun. Yeah. He bought it. He like outright bought them and imported like 3 machines. And yeah, like
Shit.
that was really lucky because that's like my city is considered like a tier 3 city in China. It was like it's 8 million people, which is bigger than anything else. But like for China, it's very small.
It's double Lebanon.
Yeah. But that's very small. Like when you look at Shanghai, that's like 24 or 25 million.
Too many people.
Yeah, but that's basically it. Like I was extremely lucky to have that available for me. So that sort of kept my interest in it. And then when I came back here, I pretty much started seeing the rise in the last year. Ever since OHN, was it 16 last year or 15?
15 last
15, yeah. That was like like really big event compared to because I'd been away from the scene for about 3 years.
You missed a little bit.
Yeah, so I was seeing this from far away, and of course I wasn't as active on social media here because I was in China, which is blocked. So you have a VPN thing. You basically end up like losing the will to constantly keep up to date with.
That sounds nice, to be honest.
Yeah, well, you get lost, sort of in your own world. But basically, I wasn't around, and so it had this big gap in between. And when I saw the difference between the event when I came back and the events before, I could see like the interest had completely risen, and the scene had almost doubled, and I'd see faces, that I like so many new faces, and people also that didn't used to, like Rek is a perfect example. Shouts to Rek from the Tekken scene. Like he's in the last year, since Tekken 7 came out, he's just improved so much. Like you'd see his results last year, and you would never think that he's just winning consistently now in top 3.
It's insane.
In almost every tournament.
I used to tell everyone just real quick, like last year at YSB, whenever I had to verse Rek, I'm like, yay, free win, and now it's just like, definitely going into losers now. So yeah, and that's all in the span of 12 months.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like so because of that growth, that's what made me sort of want to get into this. And I first got a job, settling down here for the first 6 months. I've been planning and everything. I was going to go and going with a friend to invest in like a business that we could do like a cafe and then sort of try to do this stuff on the side. But eventually that fell through on their side, so I ended up doing planning for myself for another 6 months, and then around May this year I acquired this place, signed a rental lease, and basically started this whole place to try to garner more interest and to try to really keep that growth of fighting games that's happening now and keep it keep the flame alive so that it doesn't just come and go and we just lose.
We love you.
Oh, thank you.
Was there ever a thought of like the scope being too narrow for this place? Of thinking just the fighting game community alone? Because we could probably name just about everyone in the community.
Yeah,
and if that's your scope,
but
that's kind of scary.
But that's the thing. It's not just that, because I've also got like other things going on. There's also Smash, which is a very separate, even though it's other fighting games as well, but they're quite separate in their organization and everything and events. So there's also that side. There's also I'm talking to some people about doing like tabletop gaming in here.
Okay.
You know, and there's different things. You know, it's the idea is to have any sort of gaming community, especially if they're part of like a competitive, like, you know, fighting games especially, but you can have like a whole bunch of different things. It's the idea is to have like a sort of community club, you know, a place to come out and, you know, do your hobbies, which usually have to do with fighting games. So hobbies that you would need to do offline and that you need to see the people and be around them. You know, you can play Counter-Strike in here as an internet cafe, but what's the point of playing online when you could play like with your friends inside the same room? Like that's what we're really trying to garner here.
Can I ask a quick question? Is there any chance we can like maybe at the end of the show just like that cam and just kind of do like a quick walk around?
Yeah, we can do a quick walk
Just so
around.
people
A
can see.
little tour of the place.
Yeah, just real quick.
Yeah, just don't mind the rubbish in the back.
It's all good. It's all good.
That's fine. When Eli streams here, it's funny because he like, I put these cardboard boxes from all the packaging of things that I'm like that I get, you know, each month, and I put them in the exact spot where like the camera looks into the background for his streams. So to anyone that's looking at like him and he's like, I'm streaming from BKB, it just looks like I put him like in the back alley with like the dumpster or something. It's just like it could be so much nicer if you had this as a background instead.
Nah, they need to see all the posters.
Yeah.
Those-
Oh yeah, right. The decoration, which I all got from Evo, from the artist alleys at Evo. Let's see, which actually I'll when I put some we'll put some pictures on social media and I'll credit all the artists and stuff.
Also,
They're
yeah,
still really good. You
We
know,
need to
love
get
them.
Shield BKB on Facebook and
That's
Twitter.
true. So I'll put that in the show notes. Yeah.
We'll give a shout out.
Anything, and I guess if you're watching the audio version, you can check out the archive for the walk around, which we'll do probably as a separate video at the end or
So
something.
can you just tell for those that don't know how does this a regular week works at BKB? Like how do you run your games and things like that, and what can they expect?
Yeah.
You know.
So we've got a really simple pricing structure, which is basically just $2.50 an hour, and we open usually.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Did you say $2.50 an hour? Is that
That's crazy.
Are you crazy?
And actually it gets better. It actually caps at $10 before 10 p.m. And we open at 1 p.m. from Wednesday to Sunday on a typical week. What we try to do is technically you can come in. We try to. That's why we have the also do Discord actually, which again I'd like to remind people to join it.
It's in the
Get
show
link.
notes.
Yeah, make sure because it's really like about you could make a meet like Tekken people. We've got official days for each game, and that's basically just so that when we advertise it on social media, you know that if you're a new player or something, you should come in that day to have the best chance of meeting other players in that game. But really, you can come in any day as long as you have someone else you want to play with and you organize
Bring
with
a
them.
friend.
Like the idea is I want to encourage people not to rely on us to bring you in, you know, like I'll hold, you know, with community, like Youssef has been very helpful, Jonno has been, you know, a staple of the community, I'm sure.
Hello.
Talk to us.
You know, like it's we're all wanting, you know, we'll have things for you to do, but like the community can't be complacent. You need to yourself. That's why we tell you, you know, tell people about these events, these offline events.
want
Support your
the scene
locals.
to grow,
Support
man.
things.
Hey, guys.
because it's up to you and your will. And if you just sort of let apathy go on, then that's how these things like fizzle out.
Remember
and
Street
don't
Fighter
happen.
4? Neither do I. It's a perfect example. That
Well,
scene
and
got
on-
complacent, and then they're like, well, if no
We're
one's
gonna
going to run
keep
it
this
for me,
scene
there's
so
no
alive.
one's going to do it. Oh, well, guess I'll just main complaining about
Yeah.
Street Fighter 5 instead.
And I don't mean to come off like this is a complaint. It's more about like it's more of you need to set like a mentality of like you need to realize why are you passionate for this? Like
Yeah.
why did you choose to put in so much time to practicing this stuff, to trying to beat people, to trying to better people? You know, like do you want this to grow for everyone else? Because you have to realize that your effect, you know, affects an entire community, which helps it either grow or diminish.
Yeah.
And basically, like the stronger you know you can be part of it, as long as you keep an open mind to supporting it, then the better it can like exponentially grow. You
And it's
see,
not
like,
that
yeah.
daunting, honestly.
No,
It's
no,
not
it's
hard,
not.
man.
It's not that hard.
No, and it's so much easier
Everyone is a
nowadays.
grown-ass
so much
man, so
easier.
just
The
follow
internet,
man.
the YouTube videos,
be a man.
everything helps you
Or
so
woman.
much.
Or a woman.
And
Grown-ass
places
woman.
like this are meant to be like a stepping stone towards that idea of people being able to drop in almost every second day and find someone to play with, you know, and to practice with.
Feels
Yeah.
good, man.
Yeah, that would be the best. Yeah, the thing. I mean, last weekend, like the Street Fighter interstate like presence with everyone coming in here. It was Check out the tournament we're uploading on YouTube that we had, but Roth was commentating.
Oh yeah.
It's
I
it
can
was
just
pretty
imagine
hilarious.
how that goes down.
It's not on YouTube yet. I'm still uploading it. I think
What's
I've got
your-
the Soul Calibur 6.
I'm gonna just grab the YouTube channel for.
Yeah, it should just be called Battle Cat Bunker.
Okay, so I'll put that in the show notes as well.
I think I've just got the Soul Calibur 6. Yeah, that one.
Sweet.
But
I'll throw that in the
it's
show
not
notes.
finished uploading the other one.
First subscriber.
Yeah, well, we just started the channel. Yeah, I had to change my Google name to Battle Cat, last name Bunker, because
sounds
otherwise
alright.
my channel would be called my actual name.
Fair enough.
I can help you with that. Anyway.
Classic Google.
Yeah.
So we haven't talked about the best part about this place, which I think. Hang on, I'm gonna see if you can. Yeah, this thing in the shop behind us, this lovely, absurd custom head-to-head cabinet. So talk a little bit about this for us.
Well,
But talk this way.
Youssef,
Come
the
right up
best
on the
he
mic.
had
Come
the
right
most-
up on the mic.
Do you want me to tell the story?
yeah, man, because you're the one who had the most intimate contact with that
Oh
thing.
my god. Oh
Except
my
for
god.
I guess like destroying it, but no, I know, yeah,
Well-
you did your head in for that.
First up, I need to give a massive shout out to Dion actually, because when Tekken 7 dropped, unfortunately, Melbourne didn't get a machine. You know, so Brisbane had their machine, Sydney had their machine, and Melbourne, who is a very massive and strong scene, unfortunately didn't get a machine. So Dion and another guy from Melbourne that goes by the name Jin decided to, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna get a cabinet. We don't give a fuck how much it costs. So they bought a cabinet, and then Melbourne finally had an arcade cabinet. Now fast forward, to console release, and then of course, newer version, cheaper. You don't have to wait, blah blah blah, outdated. So the machine kind of started collecting dust. So this year at BAM, as the shop was opening, Dion and Stephane, came to a deal where we can bring the cabinet here, and then we can take out the arcade board and put a PlayStation inside of it, like they do in Sugamo in Japan, and then we can have our very own arcade cabinet.
Yeah.
And then very
All right.
graciously,
All right, mate.
Dion paid for the van. He hired a van, and then I drove the cabinet by myself in a fucking 1.5 ton van from Melbourne to here.
You didn't strap it down at first, right?
And I thought I strapped it down at first, and as soon as I turned the first corner, all I hear is like.
the first corner into the highway.
First
right?
corner into a highway, mind you. And then I'm like, oh god. The speed limit is 80, and then I'm just going 40, and everyone's beeping at me. So I'm like, I don't want to damage this, this thing. So yeah, anyway, I strapped it, and then drove it all the way back here. It was quite a journey. It was really hard to get it up the stairs. Really hard to open it up and reconnect everything.
So we actually, it was just big enough that it was about 5 centimeters too wide for the door frame to get through the door frame.
Like this much. It was insane. Just this much.
Yeah, it was, and so that meant that because of that, we had to completely pull it apart into 2 giant halves and flip one part and then rebuild it within the store. So this is a permanent stay. Whenever I get kicked out of this place, I am not taking that out. I am leaving it behind for Dion to deal with. He can argue with my landlord. Yeah, no, but it's really nice. We connected up with a bunch of HDMI splitters and things like that inside, so that you can actually connect anything up to it. But right now we usually use it as a PlayStation, and we've got some ViewSonic screens in there. ViewSonic, great company.
Oh man, hell yeah! Love ViewSonic.
Supported the scene.
They
really
support
well.
us so much.
Yeah, and we got it connected to the big screen behind us. You can see just on the top of the frame there, which is for people to watch
Can they
because
see?
you can't see, but in front of us there's actually a couch. Yeah, they can
There's a
see.
couch.
We're going to do a walk around
Yeah,
after
we'll-
this.
we'll do a walk around.
Check
I'll
the
show you a quick
YouTube,
tour.
youtube.com/Gamera, and maybe we'll put it on the Battle
Yeah,
Cat channel
as you
well.
can see, you can probably not see it because of the lighting, but there's a whiteboard behind Youssef's head. That is the Mafia tier list. There's only one official placing on the Mafia tier list so far. It's also permanent. Yes,
also
he's
This is the.
So read it for the
BKB.
audio listeners.
for
S
those-
tier.
So look, at the moment it's blank because it goes up.
We're
and down.
reviewing the matches
We're
from
reviewing,
the
but one
last
thing
weekend.
that is concrete as you guys can see, if you can just direct your attention to what's below FT, actually, there's a lovely gentleman here by the name of BK Sama, who sits at the absolute bottom of this list.
We found our
Hands down,
thumbnail for
without a
this
shadow of
episode.
doubt, the worst player to ever play Mafia, and that is
Since we work
fact.
out who actually created Mafia, we're going to petition them for a patch.
Yeah, please buff
A BK Sama patch, yeah. It's like if you claim to be cop more than twice in a row,
Joke
you're
character.
out.
Joke character right here.
Joke character.
Right.
A joke.
Waiting for next season of Mafia to see how they buff him.
He's like
Danny
Sam, but
Beaky of
accidentally
real life.
programmed him too poorly.
Oh dear.
So,
So
We got a looper in here as well, by the way, just for random voice.
Yeah.
Random comments.
we got people. We're going to game after this, but So why don't we run through like what do you normally run at the moment on a week to week basis?
Let's go take this week for an example. So Wednesday, we usually don't have any specific game done, but that shows how strong some of the scenes are. Where Wednesday sometimes DBZ comes out, as well as Tekken. Eli streams usually from here on Wednesdays. He hasn't been recently because of exam period, and it's getting to the holidays and stuff. But I'm sure he'll be back to it very soon. But basically, Wednesday we're just open as usual from 1 p.m. to late, and Thursday we run Anime Night, which includes BlazBlue, Central Fiction, Cross Tag Battle as well, Guilty Gear, Xrd, Rev 2. Xrd, yeah. Oh.
Just say Guilty Gear.
10 for 10 Nerd?
Gear.
Okay.
We want gear.
The latest Guilty Gear installment. And Unist, of course. We also have Virtua Fighter.
Yeah,
on
we've
Thursday nights.
been coming out.
Yeah, Virtua Fighter is a very impressive scene to me because it's very much like the Melee scene, except it's not young
But
people,
they're
it's the
adults.
people from the
But they're
original.
adults.
Yeah, it's not because Melee, it's like the original Melee players are now doing their own thing. Right, and you got all the young people like they've come in, over the years. But Virtua Fighter people have been diehard staying, and you see new people as well, like Brad and Luke and Seth from Sydney. They were really interested in it. You see Vincent.
Vincent, yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lump myself in that
Yam.
category now because I'm
Yes.
a big VF person. Holy crap! Also, I forgot to mention shout outs to Sega Europe. I entered the VF tournament, and I'm like the prize you get for entering a VF tournament is being able to play Virtua Fighter. But they all actually offered like that prizes on offer from Sega Europe. So I won a copy of Vanquish, which is some like weeaboo shooter that
It's
looks
actually
really
a really
fun.
good game.
So shout outs to them for supporting.
The game's really good reviews.
And play Virtua Fighter is a really good game. I really like it.
Yeah. So then Friday we have usually DBZ with because that's the best day for our man Dilo.
David, bro.
Yeah.
Well, he is Sydney's best.
The biggest itchy claimer. We've got Friday we got DBZ and Tekken. Right now we're running Street Fighter 5 on Saturdays because of Gfinity happening. So a lot of the instators come in on Saturday. So that's big. But this week we're actually doing it Sunday because they have like a sort of private event on Saturday. Sort of house meet sort of stuff.
Just esports things,
Yeah, just their own
Esports
thing.
bang.
But anyway, that's the schedule for this week. And wait, I'm forgetting one game. Oh, Soul Calibur 6 on Saturdays. Yes, Soul Calibur 6 with Zuzu being our strongest player, I think, in terms of.
Hell yeah.
I think Risen also very
good.
strong,
Very
good
good.
Gerald.
Definitely not Runus.
Will.
And Runus as well.
No,
he
Runus-
won the last one.
He's a Runus.
Azuzu,
Will.
as in Will.
No.
No.
Oh, Zuzu.
No, he's Lebo.
Zuzu brackets his Lebo. Is that his handle?
Yeah.
No, his name is Joseph. I know why his nickname is Zuzu.
Who does he use? The Scythe guy?
He uses Tira,
Tira, his
the
mate.
best one.
Well, Zasalamel is his secondary. But
Yeah.
In just quick side note, in Lebanon, if your name is Joseph, which is Youssef in French, Joseph, they nickname you Zuzu. So that's why his nickname is Zuzu. Because I'm guessing his family calls him Zuzu. So he just went.
We're forgetting the best Yoshi in Oz, of course, because he beat Runus in a single tournament.
Shout out to the best Soul Calibur Yoshimitsu Rek, by the way. Not Amali Kaira.
Most improved Soul Calibur 6
Not
player.
Amali Kaira because I beat her at BRB.
None of this means anything.
It means to me, bro.
Most
Okay.
improved with least effort.
Bro, I'm
Soul
Bankstown
Calibur
Street
6
Fighter
player.
champion, bro. I'm Street Fighter 10, bro. Like, no one cares.
I care.
We care about what's being run at BKB on a week-to-week basis.
DKB, BRB.
It's a really anyway.
Yeah, and once Mortal Kombat 11 comes out, then we'll have that on Sundays most likely.
We should have. There are rumors about MK11 actually. Apparently,
But none of them matter.
This one is legit because the Spanish voice actor for Reptile, Kung Lao, and Rain, he apparently made a tweet saying he's upset that he's not being used as the voice of these characters. So that's like legit.
He's leaking.
Why are you laughing, bro?
He's leaking.
I don't care about leaks.
Oh, by the way,
he's obviously not under any NDA or anything, so you can say what
in the chat, whoever's name is Twink Slayer 420.
I'm glad we read that online.
Excellent,
You should
excellent
know who that
name.
is.
We know who that
Twink
is.
Slayer 420.
We know who that is. You want to know who that is?
Who's it? I should be careful. I'm a twink. I should know if there are any Twink Slayers
You
around.
might get slain.
All right.
And he smokes marijuana. That's terrible. That's like he's unpredictable.
You don't know what he might do.
We are running long, so is there anything else?
He's just sitting there. Like,
Is there anything else we should talk about the bunker? Obviously, we'll be streaming out of here. The new schedule, by the way, is every second Tuesday from around 8 p.m. or whenever Youssef decides to grace us with his presence.
Yeah, so I'm
from
here-
Battle Cat Bunker.
I do things, bruh.
yeah. So I'm
sure-
here 6 days a week, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very fun on my social life. But now this is my social life. Is
Or
one of you
lack
going to
of.
take me
So
out
come
on
to
a date?
BKB or Stephane doesn't have a social life.
Maybe.
Maybe I need to get rid of this
Yeah.
November thing yet. Yeah, it's pretty gross. I apologize to all the viewers.
November,
at home.
but November.
I'm actually glad we're this far away from the camera because I don't want anyone to throw up on the keyboards. It's I do it every day and every morning in my sink. I have to be careful around like glass panes around here
Yeah.
because if I walk by, the reflection comes out and I can see it. I'm just like, I get queasy. I don't want. It's carpeted. Here.
Self-quiz.
It's
I like
carpeted
it.
here. I don't want to clean up.
We should do a tour. Shall we do a tour?
Yeah.
Well, look, we're going to wrap the show up here, and then I'm going to shoot a tour of BKB, and I'll put it up on YouTube.
No, do it now.
I don't want to do it on that camera. I'm going to do it properly. Like, I'm going to do it from a proper camera, and then we'll cut it out and put it as a separate thing.
Alright, sick.
So if you're watching live, check the YouTube. I guess it's a good point to wrap up.
I reckon
So
that'll be
Yeah.
good because people
We-
are watching.
we cannot
Support your
bring that
locals,
camera
yes.
around. I'm not
Okay.
bringing up my laptop. It's impossible. So we'll do it after.
If I have one last message in
Yeah,
general
please,
for the
please.
thing, I would say if you're watching this or you see this later after it's been aired on YouTube or whatever, or on the VODs, and even if you're not part of any of these games that we talked about, like the main games and Soul Calibur and all that stuff we talked about, like I started talking to the Skullgirls community and everything. I reckon not solely, but basically
Intimate. I like
I had a Pokken like
Yes,
con-
they started coming up.
us.
Yeah, they started coming to YSP.
Yo.
And then they started coming to YSB,
Yes.
which was really nice. Like that's like even if I'm not able to cater for this place because we are in specific area, there's always other places. The whole idea is to work together. And like I said, with Newcastle, with Tasmania, with Couch Warriors. They've got the Dragon Ball Z event in December. People are gonna fly. Some people are gonna fly for that. All these things. Even if you're not part of these main games, contact your local places. You can get a scene going. All you need is 3 people.
Two
Two people is fine, right? But you need a third person to rotate. Now you've got a competitive scene because now you've got a triangle where you can maybe beat someone and the other person.
So much in your
and what's the best
Me
way
too.
for these people to get at you if they want to run something?
So-
if they want advice, if they want anything, how should they get at
The
you?
best way is to go through the Also Do Discord. That is a direct contact with all of
Show
Also Do.
notes.
Yeah, all of Also Do. We got BKB channels in there, so you can directly talk to people that go to BKB. Otherwise, go to your respective games, like official Australian Facebook group, fighting game community group,
And just
that's
ask.
growing every day. I see like new members on that place. Like,
But
all
every
the
day,
time.
I'm adding people. Every
Yeah.
day.
And if you don't know where to go, you can tweet one of us and we'll
Also
get you in the
follow
right
this
direction.
guy. Follow Battlecat Bunker on Twitter and just
Yes.
retweet it. Just shill the fuck out of it. I want it to hit 200 followers overnight. Just shill it so people know.
Yeah, we're
Shill
gonna
the
get
fuck out
more
of it.
videos, more pictures of the place, and really like push, just the idea of people just watch events and like it's really this is the best time to get into it or to support it if you have felt like you have been part of this and you're an old school guy, like come back to the scene and be active again. If you can, like do whatever you feel because you'll have the best time. This is the best time to revive. I keep hearing from older players and everything. Not like unanimously, but I do hear often about that fire that used to be, there. Like it's there. It's just that it's much more diluted now because there's so many more people. So you're gonna get a lot more casual people going through. But that's fine. That bolsters the numbers. If you're passionate, there will be that core as well as those people. This is the best time. You need, the only way these things can grow stronger is through numbers. You can show numbers, you can get more support, you end up with, this exponential snowball effect that goes on. And that's basically what, we've got, this place has already grown. We had 170 people walk through the door.
Great.
Different people, and that's not even counting Insta-staters and people that I didn't even record down because they just stopped by just to check it out and watch. It doesn't cost anything to come spectate. If you're not even sure about playing, you can come through and just watch for a night. We don't charge for that.
We don't charge.
Just play. Just play or don't play or ask questions. Join the social media.
Just
and
get
really,
involved.
Get involved.
And
It's
tell
really
people,
that.
Spread the word.
Yeah.
Spread the word.
It's amazing. People
We're
don't seem to
treating
realize.
this like a religion.
Don't seem
Except
to,
it
and you
makes
might
more
think
sense.
oh, I'm just paying $10 for the night
He says,
thing. But that
as he has
every
Jesus
single
around his neck.
every single person that comes through any doors of any event, not just this place, but any event, you are directly contributing to the growth of that. Just being able to show interest, that shows that that can go a long way. Yeah.
Big. All right. I think that's a good place for us to wrap
Definitely
up.
a good place.
So, as we get into the wrap up, I'll say again that we are going to do a tour of this place, but because I don't want to carry my laptop around, I'll cut a thing up so you can see that, as well as the archives to this show at youtube.com/Gamrah. That's GAMRAH. You can catch us every second Tuesday at 8 p.m. At twitch.tv/GAMRAH. We're on iTunes. We're on all good podcast providers. If you have any suggestions for guests, any feedback for the show, you can tweet at us.
If you guys have any suggestions for guests, well, mainly Sydney, we can do.
We can do Skype. We can do Discord, but
let us know. Also, Rick has a question.
What's the question?
What do the BKB points count towards?
Right. So I should really quickly actually talk about that.
BKB leagues.
So right now we're running leagues for BKB. This is like a sort of a test league. I'm just testing out to see if I can gauge interest by using a system where points are gained to eventually go to a final event. So we're running leagues from this November, every weekly tournament, including some tournaments like the monthly Givo Gomez vs Pedro tournaments that are held in Newcastle.
That's a good name.
Yeah. And the YSB tournaments, which are actually, and the BRB tournaments, which are actually counted as 2 times the points. But anyway, I will be releasing, a monthly, a point count, or I might make it bi-weekly to, basically I'm going to periodically release, point counts for all the tournament results and everything so people can see where they stand. And basically there's going to be an event that will hold, the last event for the league will be in January.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Don't give them all the details.
Okay, but basically we'll be holding a final event at some point after the 3 months the league concludes, which is November
and
and
of
January.
course there'll be prizes and shit.
And yes, because it's an inaugural event, I'm not setting any, it's to be determined, just because I am definitely gonna, have something of interest for those people to make it fun. But that's why we're making all the events free as well. It's to encourage people to participate. And the second season will likely have a system where we have paying tournaments, $5 something, and a small portion of those tournaments will go towards the final event so that we can have something substantial. And we've also got some systems, planned for people that don't make it into the top 8 so that they can use their league points for other things throughout, like store credit or things like other prizes and raffles and things like that. Yeah. So the idea is, you come and you get points, and
come out.
it will be more so explained onto. Now, I don't want to go into it in super detail now.
We can get you back on another time. We can talk about it as we get closer to it.
But basically, it's Rek is very interested in that because he's won the last 2 Tekken tournaments and he's super psyched.
BKB champion.
Yeah, but he'll be.
You know who else is the BKB champion before him?
I don't know, Jonno.
Me. I want to take it to a tournament at BKB.
Oh, which game?
Tekken.
Oh, that game.
Tekken.
Oh,
I've heard of it.
You play Tekken?
I played Tekken. It's a good game.
Okay.
Anyway.
You play like a good character, right?
Oh, I only played the best characters.
But I'm sure we'll have more on the leagues. So you can follow all of Stephane, all of BKB's social media will be in the show notes. It's all usually at Battle Cat Bunker, surely. Right?
Yes.
Cat with a K.
But you
Cat
can
with a
you can
K.
check the
Battle
social notes for
K
that.
Cat Bunker.
Battle K.
K
Otherwise,
at Bunker.
you can get at Youssef at _fade_. You can get at myself at Gamera. We're on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We are trying to get affiliates, so if you can and are interested, please tune in
Whenever
when we are
we
streaming.
stream.
It just means if we get affiliate, we can get the quality settings. So those of you who watch on Potato Internet, like you can dumb it down if you need to. So if our net play adventures excite you, like definitely tune in for that. I'll be doing that on Thursday. Otherwise, I don't know. Is there anything else to add? Oh, by the way, shout out to Abby who moved his. What Beast Stands
Beast
podcast?
Stands.
Yeah,
Beast
so that's
Stands.
another FGC podcast you should be following.
Oh yeah. That's
Monday.
something I can't believe I didn't mention that at all.
The Beast _5.
I listen to that
The Beast
podcast every
underscore-
single time it's on. It's he's been consistently really good with it.
The Beast
Sorry about that.
_151 is his Twitch, so definitely give him a follow as well if you want more FGC stuff. Otherwise, I think that's going to do it. Do you guys have any?
Yeah, I have one
closing
more
words?
thing. If you want some sweet ass.
Ooh, I want some sweet ass.
No, not ass. If you want some sweet ass emoticons,
Okay.
where was it? You should subscribe to Alchemist, our local Tekken.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's got, and I believe, can I use? Here it is.
He's Australia's best Tekken
So if
streamer.
you want the second emote that you see there, you got to subscribe to Alchemist. Alchemist is written like it is. I think 4LCH. 3M15T.
Just rolls right off the tongue.
Because he hates followers. That's why.
Yeah,
he
that's
hates
it.
people finding him online and easily following him. But also, if you want the first one, you need to subscribe to Battle Cat Bunker, which is the classic Youssef emote, which is perfect. The eyebrow in perfect position. If we could have just a GIF of the eyebrow dance, that would be. Someone clip it.
Yep.
Someone clip that. Stephane, thank you for your time. Thank you for
very much
everything you do
having
for
me on,
BKB.
guys. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
That's going to do it for us this week. Remember, follow at Gamera on Twitch, YouTube, all that stuff. YouTube, Battle Cat Bunker on everything. Use us on Twitter @_fade_.
I don't know how you guys do this every time. I need to pee so badly.
I saw you rocking back and forth. I was like, why is he
dying
here?
Anyway, I'm done for this part of the
I'm
episode.
done.
I'm gonna
You can go
leave.
pee.
Thank you very much for having me on.
We'll be
You
back
guys
in
wrap
2
up.
weeks. Check the YouTube. We'll have a walk around of the Battle Cat Bunker for you guys at home. But until next time, Youssef, thank you.
Oh, we're random duty.
And we're going to go get some food. So
You are.
we'll see you next time.
Later.